So they are basically like owl bears, but hawks and dragons. Hey, bud. Hey, bud.
Is it Saxon?
It is. He's
Indeed.
chasing his
Hi,
tail.
Saxon.
Just throw any two monsters together and make a new monster.
Say hi.
Hi, Saxon.
All right. Yeah, it's a good boy.
Oh, you can tell. He's a good boy just by looking
Very
at his face.
Avatar.
Good boy.
To have
Yes.
these fused animals together.
Yeah, yeah. Seriously.
I played in an Avatar: The Last Airbender like tabletop game, and I had so much fun making up a bunch of like half and half animals for it. It was great. We had like these like half bison, like the front half was a bison, the back half was like a rabbit, but they were like really big like a bison, and they would like jump along mountains. So like
That's cool.
they were so cool. That was my favorite.
Nice.
Yes,
All right, gang.
Dragonhawks are from Arcanics, where wizards basically just fucked around with a bunch of shit and made
It just
Dragonhawks.
Eberron Hogwarts.
It's where
Yeah.
where the wizards fucked around.
okay. Let's plop on over here since our audio is already running. Actually, let me make a little.
They go to jail in hell.
Cyrus is a
Drink
cat
puppets.
person, so he'll be fine.
That makes a lot of sense. All the necromancers out there with their bone servants just petting a cat that's just like totally cool with the death that surrounds it. Cats are native to Karnath.
Speaking of totally cool with the death surrounding it, we're back. Hi everyone, welcome back. This was thanks Derek. This was a great way to slide on in it, and God, that was horrible. So yeah, welcome back everyone. Shade and Cinder, D&D 5e. We play it every Saturday. Eberron campaign. Here we are. Let's start the character intros before I put foot in mouth anymore today. At least for the next 10 minutes or so. As we introduce our fantabulous players for today, and DM as well. Jillian, can you introduce yourself and Mourning, please?
Hi, I'm Jillian. Jillian of Midgard, most places on the web. Jill of Midgard on Twitter. I'm playing Morag. She's a half-elf, half-orc hybrid warlock whose patron is a powerful coven of hags, and they're scary and creepy, and she just maybe want to go back and see them. We'll see ya. We'll see what happens. And as always, today's episode is sponsored by Red Juice, now with blue flavor.
It's still red. It's just blue flavored red juice.
With that
week,
smashing
purple.
ad read, I can't wait to see our sponsors lining up outside the door.
Hey, you never know. Kool-Aid call. Make the call. We'll switch. Awesome. So, speaking of cool, colorful things and people, Nate, can you introduce us to yourself and Cyrus, please? PH, what's up, dude? Welcome.
I give that segue a B+. That was some of your better work, Kyle.
It's got to be up and down, or you can't have expectations staying at the top.
Yeah, I will be playing Cyrus. He's a paladin of Karnath. He follows the blood of Vol. He's very distrustful of the Dragonmark houses. He's got an aberrant Dragonmark. We're gonna see what kind of weird stuff Derek does to me in the next couple episodes because of that. So that'll be fun.
Awesome. Yes, weird stuff and fun and blue-red juice. Kay, can you introduce yourself and Ramiel to us today?
I was half expecting you to say, just like, speaking of weird, here's Kay.
Oh no, I don't. No, we're just gonna do. I'm playing it safe
Yours
right
is
now.
much nicer than what I was expecting.
That's good.
Hi everyone, I'm Kay. I'm at ironic_cupcake on Twitch, Twitter, and Instagram if that's your thing. Yes, today I am not drinking my normal red juice. I have the blue juice today. But it's still gonna be, I think it's a bit more in character since all of Rami's fire and her eyes and her dragon marks all blue. You know, we got that going for us. Yes, today I'm playing Ramiel, the half-elf divine soul sorcerer, and she's scared but has a little bit of like confidence building up because she just kind of was nuking the hell out of everything with like way too many fireball spells, because once you hit level 9 in sorcerer you can cast fireball like 7 times, so that's fun.
That is, yeah, brutally fun, vicious, and also efficient. Speaking of vicious, efficient, and well, just all around great. Let's introduce Derek. Derek, you're gonna be our DM. I'll do. Oh, fuck, I did it out of order, but it was such a good segue.
Okay.
Such a good segue. You're doing it. Go ahead, Derek.
All right, I'm doing it. We're going live. Fuck it. Hi, everybody. I am Derek Sword. I am, as always, your DM for these wonderful Saturday games and this wonderful Eberron Saturday game, which I love so very much. For those of you keeping track, this likely will not be our penultimate episode. We'll see how things go, and I'll let you know at the bottom of the episode, so just make sure to stick around. But yes, I will save all of my plugs for the end. And before we jump into things, I will let Kyle introduce his character, of course.
Yeah, messed up that order. I'm on point today, people. So, hi, Kyle. Will be playing Midge today, and Midge is a gnome artificer, and yeah, just super pumped that we are in the belly of a colossus, and excited to. He's excited about all of this current stuff. I think once he gets his mind off of all the nifty stuff and we start heading more into the Mournland, then the excitement will go back into terror. But for right now, it's exploring, and we blew up a whole hive of alien bastard people. So, yeah, good times. Derek.
All right, so welcome back, everybody. I guess I should say, if you do want to follow me, I'm dsword16 on basically everything. Twitter, Twitch, Discord. I am sword_dogs on Instagram if you want to see fun photos of my dogs. But yeah, like I said, I do other stuff, and we'll talk about that later. So, for this game, for those of you who may be joining us for the first time, weird time to join, but we might as well do a little bit of a recap because, hey, why not? So we pick back up with our intrepid adventurers in the belly of the beast, somewhat literally. They find themselves in the lower abdominal section of a gargantuan warforged colossus. For those, like I said, joining for the first time, our adventurers were hired by Merrick Stakanoth, one of 3 prospective heads of his Dragonmark house. Their mission was to explore the mysterious and dangerous Mournland, a former kingdom now smoldering ruin. An entire country was destroyed in moments, taking along with it millions of souls. Merrick's hopes that the party can discover some lost technology belonging to his family that might allow him to salvage his house from an impending ruin and also gain control of his house to Merrick's himself. The party also hopes to perhaps discover the unknown reason for the calamity and hold any parties responsible accountable to the public at large. Their entire journey has been, to this point, fraught with action and peril, and nearly every person they met, has warned them of the dangers of the Mournland. Several of those dangers they have witnessed firsthand. Still, they ventured forth and find themselves there now. They have fought abomination after monstrosity, and now once more stand at the precipice of something new. The Colossus they explored had become somehow fused with the cliffside around it, being almost no differentiation at certain parts between the stone and the metal itself. And while inside of the Colossus, they discovered a secret entrance. So we pick up now as they once more take another step into the unknown. So, to my players, you stand in the darkness of the Colossus. You have removed the power source, the slash artificial intelligence that once powered this construct. Before you is the semi-burrowed entrance to somewhere else, somewhere that looks man-made. Already you can notice that without the Colossus air filtration and temperature control, the air is getting dense and it is noticeably warmer in your space. Probably aided a little bit by the continual use of fire spells and the smoldering ruins of an entire hive of monsters that basically rests above you now. So what are you guys, what would you like to do? Would you like to push forward or would you like to exit the Colossus?
I think we're going forward into this.
Yeah, we wanted to check it out, right?
All right.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, Remy will go along with whatever you guys need to do.
Okay, so it is dark in here. So those of you with dark vision,
I've still got my sword lit up, so
okay.
it is shedding bright light.
So that will shed bright light in 30 feet. So Cyrus leads you as you walk forward for some time. The walls of this essentially cave are certainly carved by some creature. You can kind of identify that the claw marks of the creatures that you fought in our last session were probably the creatures that created this tunnel. It's large in nature, so it's probably the brood mother, the queen of they were Kruthiks, just throwing that out there. So they were Kruthiks that burrowed through. However, soon enough, the walls begin to smooth and become cool to the touch, and in a single moment, light, additional light, I should say, surrounds you once again. Ever bright lanterns flick into and activate essentially based on your presence, and you find yourselves in what is very clearly a workspace, a laboratory. You feel like in better times it would have been overly clean, sterile even. But the first thing that catches your eye is the various skeletons that kind of are scattered about this room. The most noticeable thing about them is that they have all become fused to the walls and floor around them. All of them seem to be reaching out with whatever arms are still exposed, much like the Warforged that you entered in the first place, reaching out, trying to grasp at something unseen. There are 5 skeletons you can count, and let's see. There are also spider webs. Dust covers the area. Besides that, there are several boards that line the walls, almost like corkboard, that show various pieces of schematics and blueprints that seem to detail the Colossus that you entered. They're all labeled with WX33 Landro. And yeah, they show in incredible detail the measurements, utility. They even actually show the docent system, which was the AI system, and how it's connected throughout the Warforged. And at the center of the room is a circular table, and at its center is an orb of dull black glass, and that table is filled with drawings that show just some potential ideas from what you can tell for the Colossus, maybe some additional weapons ideas or armaments. A lot of them are marked with pencil and eraser marks. And at the far end of the room is a glass window that, as far as you can tell at this point, looks out onto darkness. And next to that is a large closed door set into the far left corner. And that is the room.
Ramy's gonna do like what she was doing, like go pick up paperwork and stuff, just kind of like shuffling it all together.
Sure. Yeah. You so you're collecting the stuff from the table, collecting the stuff from the walls.
Yeah, just like whatever is like kind of worried about stuff potentially like crumbling depending on whatever elements or whatever it was exposed to. So she's being delicate and to take things down and is at least giving them a look over out of curiosity, but yeah, she's gonna just very gently try to put it all into her little bag that she's been
Sure.
putting all of her other paperwork into.
Yeah, at most it's been 5 years. So the paper's not, it's dry in here.
Don't know what like explosions, like
Oh,
weird
sure.
elements came out with that.
Sure. Yeah, none of it seems particularly fragile, and in any case, and the schematics especially are kind of these things that are made to last. So yeah, you take out several of the pins. You're taking down a lot of these things. Pondus is kind of looking over your shoulder as you kind of put things away, and seems to be making some mental notes of the things that you're looking at.
I'll be beelining towards the docent stuff. And
Okay, yeah. Yeah, so you're looking at the docent system, and once again, Kay is just, or Rami is kind of taking these pins out, and you're looking at the connectivity system, which very much, especially to Midge, would resemble the nervous system of a humanoid body. These kind of extending wires that were otherwise hidden by the metal, but were more exposed in the cranium area, where you saw all of those semi-organic wires kind of extending from that mithril helmet.
Okay.
I want to look at the skeletons in the wall.
I would
Sure.
like to also examine the skeletons. Are they like Pompeii style, where they're like huddled, like trying to avoid like protecting themselves from a blast, or are they reaching out like benevolently?
Yeah, go ahead and do investigation checks if you are expecting skeletons.
Investigation.
I'll look at him, but that's after this, so.
We both have -1s to our investigation. We're so smart.
You can certainly tell that these skeletons are not attempting to steal Christmas, which is
Okay.
good. They don't seem to be huddling. They don't seem to. I'll say this, it doesn't seem like they expected to be fused into their surroundings. But from what you can tell from a skeleton, the mouths are open, the arms are reaching out. It seems like they were trying to escape in their final moments.
I was just wondering if I could, after I gather up the dose and stuff, and I see that Rami and Pondus are kind of taking care of all the paperwork stuff. If I look over and see Morag and Cyrus examining this situation puzzlingly, can I roll to do an investigation so that I can make a comment as I walk by them?
Yeah, sure.
If it rolls well, watch me roll shit, and then I'll be like, "Oh yeah, it's this," and they'll be like, "No, it's not. We see that it's the."
Roll a 1 and just be like, yeah,
Yeah.
it's fake.
Yeah.
Those are Halloween decorations.
Oh, wow.
Okay. Yeah.
Make your
Oh,
comment.
wait. Let me prepare to get owned. All right,
Okay.
ready.
They were, in fact, trying to steal Christmas.
Just kind of pop my head between Cyrus and Morg, and flash burned. Boy, they never knew it was coming, and just kind of, just keep walking, and go on to look at the next thing. I don't know. Yeah. Just wanted
All right.
I just wanted a moment, Just wanted a
You got
waist-
it, Midge.
waist high moment of pride.
Everyone's everyone's like, I don't know.
Cyrus
Yeah.
reaches out to the skeleton's jaw and like operates it like it's talking. Says, "Thanks, Midge."
Who was that? Oh God, it's talking. Oh God.
So tempted to throw a ghost at you right now, but no, we're gonna move along.
Just can't control it.
All right. Anything else you guys would like to do in this room?
Are there
Hmm.
any
I'm
exits
happy-
out of it?
So you went through a burrowed entrance, which seems to be kind of a made exit by these creatures almost accidentally. This is what they did, that they kind of burrowed into. Other than that, there are the doors on the far end by the window. And then there's the center table. What you haven't seen yet is there's a center table with the orb at the center of that table, the far doors, and the window looking out onto something.
What's up with that orb? Is it a dragon shard?
It is not a dragon shard. It does have the marks of, and I had it in my head, I want to say Civis. Yes, so it does have the marks of House Civis, denoting it as a something that has to do with communication.
I touch it.
Okay. You touch it, And as you do, you feel your dragon mark activate.
That's really bad.
Just slightly. It's this hasn't happened before, but you still understand what's happening as it does. If you could see it, it would actually light up slightly, but you do feel kind of a pressure and a warmth, almost like I would say the beginnings of a sunburn. It's not painful, but it's noticeable.
I feel like it happens every time I cast one of the spells I have with it. So like I am used to it.
Yeah, okay. And as you do, the orb activates. An opalescent light in image appears, and no matter where you were standing in the room, it seems to be facing you. It's not like if you're standing on the opposite side, it would appear backwards. It kind of has this weird illusory way of presenting itself directly towards whomever is looking at it. You see script that reads top secret, and then you see the image of House Cannith's Gorgon's head.
I have to turn it off if it says top secret. We're not allowed to see this stuff.
Yeah,
Nate,
Cyrus
no.
would know that, yeah. It flickers, and then you see a date. It says 10th of Olaroon, 994 YK. Another flicker for a moment, and then standing before you is the faded image of a man. His features are familiar, and for those of you trying to determine who this might be, you may roll a history check.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Ooh.
Cyrus definitely remembers.
Yeah.
Okay. Mourning, you definitely have seen this. He looks familiar. You just can't quite get it, but Cyrus definitely.
All humans look the same to Morag.
Yeah.
She's used to trolls and Medusa.
That's right. Yeah, Morag can tell you the difference between two Minotaur twins because one of them has a mole on their left cheek. But yeah, all humans are the same. Yeah, Cyrus especially. You have seen this individual's portrait when you first met with Merrick's Cannith. This was one of two portraits that were presented at essentially what was the main portion, the head of his like welcoming area, the large hall that you came in.
This is his daddy.
This is his granddaddy. This is Starin Decan. Yes, the other image was his father, who shoot, I just forgot.
I think Daddy Decanith is fine.
Aaron. Yes, Aaron Decanith. Yes. So it's Starin, Aaron, Merrick's.
Couldn't make him
Starin, Aaron, Darren.
Yes, luckily that family tradition did not make it a third generation. So this is Starin Decanith. This is, to Cyrus's knowledge, the patriarch of of House Cannith, essentially right before the Mourning. Starin Decanith died the day before the Mourning. Yeah, with a role like that, you would certainly know that.
He's also like the mastermind behind the Warforged, right?
That was Aaron. Starin was patriarch, but Aaron, Merrick's father, was the one who brought Warforged to their sentience. So Warforged existed before Aaron, but they were essentially just golems. Aaron was
like what we fought in the arena, right?
A lot like, yeah. Yeah, Aaron was the one that gave them a mind of their own. Aaron was the one that created Whistler. Yeah. So you see Starin Decanith. And he, after a moment, he is dressed in his finery. He looks very old, very unwell. That's clear to any, even the untrained eye. But after a moment, he does speak. He says, "Greetings, Eunice. I trust that progress on WX-33 is nearly complete. I expect it operational within the week. I do not accept excuses." And he coughs very, it's a very wet cough that I'm not going to submit you all to on this microphone. And it's, like I said, probably due to his progressed age, and you would know that not much longer after this he did die. This is 10 days before the Mourning. I suppose with a history check like Cyrus, he would know that this was recorded. The 10th of Olaroon, the 20th of Olaroon was the Mourning, the Calamity, essentially. is I'm also notifying you and also all other department heads that the first test for Project Gatekeeper will be taking place in 2 days. Plans are already in place to transport the key to the Talenta Plains. I'm sure no one will notice if a few dinosaurs go missing. Keep working. We shall soon establish our family's dominance overall. Hail to House Kenneth. And that message cuts out.
Gatekeeper?
That sounded ominous.
We need to take the orb.
I wonder, do you guys have anything in your papers that you picked up about Project Gatekeeper?
I'll check and see. She'll like pull stuff out and start like leafing
Did he
through.
also
Like,
say that we have to take the key?
To the
That was
Talenta
key.
The
Plains.
key.
But they probably took it there and tested it and then brought it back if it's what caused the mourning. Remember what that guy, your boyfriend, said, Morag, about he thought that somebody had opened up all the gates to every realm, and that's what caused the mourning?
Oh, and
It was a theory, yeah.
So maybe the key is what opens all the gates, and Project Gatekeeper would be something
maybe.
to name it, I guess.
Oh, that makes sense.
Well, the question is it their fault, or were they trying to prevent it?
It really sounds like they were trying to do it, like, and use it as
Like-
some sort of like weapon to push their house over the top.
Maybe send the dinos through as a test run?
I don't know.
Huh.
What was so? It was Aaron was the father. What was Granddaddy's name on the orb?
Saren.
Darren.
Starin.
Starin.
Starrin.
Starin.
Starin. I'm saying Starin because it's clearly his son's name is Aaron. It's Arre.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Love these Eberron names.
Yeah.
But we didn't hear about any like disasters in the Talenta Plains, so something different must have happened after their test.
Maybe something intercepted. That's what I mean. Maybe they didn't mean for this to happen.
It does
do
sound
they-
rather specific, though.
Do they have anything about Project Gatekeeper on any of the paperwork that they've picked up so far?
They do not. No. Remy, remember where you've gotten paperwork from?
There was that first like hub room that's kind of like in the chest.
That's right. Okay.
And I don't remember if there was any paperwork in like the head area.
There was not. So the
But she got
paperwork
it from the chest, and then now from like this room.
right, the meeting hall in the chest. That was marching orders, as far as you can tell, for where WX-33 was intended to be dispatched to. But that was purely military. There wasn't a lot of like top secret stuff there. And you can kind of guess that it's a public meeting hall inside of a troop transport. Maybe top secret stuff wasn't getting passed along there.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you haven't seen anything else about Project Gatekeeper anywhere else?
I don't have anything, Cyrus.
It
Can we
is
pick
top
up this
secret.
orb?
Yeah, you certainly can.
Morag, stick this in your bag.
I hold my bag out.
I shoot it like a basketball.
Please don't. There's a like fucked up elemental in there, like just
I
because
call,
like
I
they
call
like
Frank and knock it off of Morag's face.
Make an athletics check.
Oh my.
Kobe. Yeah, okay, you make it.
Aw.
Nailed it. Nothing but net.
Aww.
And yeah, so Morag's opening the bag, he swishes, and of course, Morag, you don't feel it go in, it enters the extra dimensional space, and just, you're kind of like waiting for like the thunk, and it never happens.
I'll get used to it eventually.
Yeah.
I switch on my Eldritch sight, all my like pupils expand until my eyes are all black, and I look
All of
around. I
them?
look, yeah. You don't know how many pupils I have, but it might be more than 2.
Yeah.
Just kind of sweep around the room, look at that window, look and see if there's anything in some, cupboards or whatever.
So I will say that using your Eldritch Sight, you can determine that everywhere around you kind of has an air of transmutation, especially the skeletons. Maybe the fusing was transmutation magic. when you look out the window, you can see a little bit of enchantment. Kind of as you turn around, evocation certainly kind of is down the hall or down the cave, essentially towards the Warforged. That seems to have some evocation magic around it. Nothing super intense, just kind of like light auras around anything, but nothing seems to be pinging in
Cyrus
it.
showing up.
Cyrus
brighter?
is yes. So he is not showing any brighter, but once again, you can see his dragon mark, and it's the best way. It shows all the colors kind of at once, almost like kind of like an oil slick. So even as you move, as you're looking around, the mark kind of fluctuates in color as your eyes look at it. And that's probably the thing that's giving off the most intense magical source right now. Of course, in addition to all of your magical items, you have your cloaks and Rami's gem and all that normal stuff. There doesn't seem to be anything else pinging.
The
Cyrus
glass in the
notices-
window is intact. It's not broken out or anything. It's just still
Correct.
glass. Oh.
Cyrus notices Mourning staring at him, and he goes, Mourning! 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 Stay focused on the mission.
Always. Whose mission?
Can we go to the door?
Yeah, you can go to the door.
Maybe we'll find something inside. If we go into the launch station thingamadoogie construction thing.
Is that the scientific term?
Yep,
Yes,
I read
yes.
it in one of the papers.
So the door is next to the window. Are any of you looking out the window?
Yeah.
Sure. Oh yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
yeah,
That's what we had.
All of us. We'll just all press our
Scooby Doo,
little
like
faces up
like
there.
it's
yeah.
like our heads are stacked up. Like
Yeah.
It is a dark room beyond, but the light of the ever-bright lanterns kind of illuminates a little bit out into it. It seems to be a forge, a rather large one. And from the molds and things you can see, this is very likely where WX-33 was constructed.
So the window looks into another interior space, not an exterior space.
Correct.
Okay.
So very likely, yes, you're almost going into the cliff at this point. So what you kind of piece together is very likely this is the kind of the white helmet area, the white hard hat guys, and then all of the actual workers, the forge masters and everything like that would work below.
Do we want to take a look around?
Let's just take a sweep through and see if there's any like magical bits that we might be able to like liberate.
Yeah. That's
so
a nice way of saying steal.
Recover.
Recover.
We're
salvage.
salvagers. Yeah.
The skeletons probably won't mind. So you open the doors to the left of the window, and they open to an empty room, which you determine very quickly to be a magical lift. There is a control system on the right side that will allow you to move up or down. And the forge, I should say, the window looks down onto the forge, so it would be the level below you.
So we don't know what's up then, because we couldn't see it through the window.
Yes.
Let's go up.
Okay. Push the button.
Okay. The lift door closes, and you accelerate at a little bit faster than probably an elevator should go. But it does slow as you reach the top. It actually goes for a little bit, and in a short while longer, the doors with a clunk open, and you are once again back at the top of the cliff. These doors seem to have been hidden in some boulders on the plateau of the cliff. So you are right where you started, at the shoulder height of the Colossus. It actually looks out onto the Colossus.
So this is like a quick exit out that we don't have to
Yeah.
crawl through the.
once you get through
Warforged
like the
again.
end of the dungeon, there's always like that
Yeah.
quick exit. Yeah.
Yes, this
You
is
can
this is
fast
your
travel
Skyrim
back to the
exit.
ship here.
It's,
Yeah.
it's a ledge that you couldn't like climb up, but now you can jump down. Okay, well let's go back down and we'll check out the forge floor.
Mhm.
You descend once again, probably just a little too fast, but not enough to
Ooh.
lift your feet off the ground. Yeah, it's a little dizzying, but you make it to the forge floor, and it is dark in here. There doesn't seem to be anything active, and as you walk in, no Everbright lanterns activate.
I'll keep my bright sword brighting.
Okay. So you look around. Once again, there are very large molds that seem to kind of fit what you imagine the Colossus. Fingers, joints, plating for the forearms, plating for the greaves, essentially. Seems to be an area for like constructing the bioorganic docent connectivity wires. Yeah, there even seems to be an area where probably the mithril helmet was refined. But everything here, the forge itself has cooled and is not operational at this time.
Anything useful around to grab? Any paperwork, anything like that?
And no paperwork on this floor. This is definitely probably more of a workman's floor. So you imagine that if this were active, there would probably be a lot of molten metal moving around, maybe a lot of sparks. Probably not a good place for paper. Even when you look at the forge, you see where dragon shards would normally go. To activate the forge, you'd probably use a fire elemental, more than likely, to activate these forges and heat them up. But all of the dragon shards seem to have been removed, probably indicating because WX-33 had completed its construction.
Anything like fist-sized about there that I can bring back as a souvenir to Whistler because he didn't get to go on this mission?
Yeah. Something with his name on it, like a keychain.
Something
like a license plate, like one of those license plates. We'll put it on his butt.
Yeah.
Like something that would have like carved the armor, or like a tool, or something that is branded with the
A
name
spare
of house.
hand.
Yeah.
The
Okay. Make an investigation check, and we'll see if Morag can find a trinket for Whistler.
Ooh.
You find a hammer that has a piece of tape on it that says Jeff.
Okay.
Ooh, nice. That's a good find. Yeah.
Jeff Hammer.
I'll look at the biomechanical stuff that hooks up to the docent, to the mithril helmet. I just want to see, just trying to fathom how biomechanical anything is kind of a thing at this point.
So the connectivity wires that were in the Colossus were pretty well intact, almost like because of the power surging through them and the docent that was activating them, they had been maintained. These, the organic part of these semi-organic wires has deteriorated long ago. There are rats kind of scurrying around as you look, and all that's really left are the metal pieces, and there's certainly a nasty smell at this point, almost like rotting squid.
We
That's
all
very specific.
recognize the rotting squid smell.
Yeah.
Like
just-
that's a very specific smell, and unfortunately, I know what you're...
well, I'm good. Never mind.
Are there any other exits out of this room?
There do not appear to be. No, it's rather large. I will say you guys are able to explore for some time, but in all ways, it seems to be a workman's floor. You certainly see the typical stuff that you would notice. There's an area for maybe a manager to sit and kind of, guys to clock in and clock out. There's some lockers that all seem to be open and empty. And like Morag found, there's some loose tools, some hard hats, but also you notice no skeletons. There, like I said, the forge itself seemed to have been deactivated when the mourning happened.
Where's the rat nests? Where's the rats?
Why do you
The rats are kind of all crowding and pooping around the where the semi-organic wires were.
Real world Jillian knows that rats love to hoard things in their nests.
Oh my god. Are you gonna dig through the rat nests?
Morag might know that too, because she lives in an interesting place.
Morag can roll a nature check if she is.
Alright.
Want to fight a rat king? Is that what? I don't have the stats for that.
No. Just see if they got any little extra trinkets hidden away. Do I have any nature skill? Let's see. Yeah, still -1. Well, better than the other check.
Morag knows that if you see one rat, there's millions, but I'm not sure that she would know that rats like to hoard shiny things.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Although I will say, if you do listen to my podcast, Monster Crush, you will know that the medieval idea of mice was that they had gold in their bellies. Just like RPG monsters, if you kill a mice, you're going to get some gold. So, yeah, I wonder actually if that's where the concept of like animals having treasure on them comes from. So, yeah, listen to Monster Crush, it's fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, Jillian knows.
Right? Alright, moving on.
Yeah, I guess let's head back to the airship and get out of here.
Okay.
Did we clear the entire Colossus? Did we go down?
We didn't go to its
we went
foot.
through. We didn't go into like its legs,
Mhm.
but like we went everywhere else. I think.
Any value of doing that, you think?
Pondus seemed to think we got all the like best bits.
We did. We got like the helmet with all like the connections and lots of.
Yes, typically the legs are full of traps and ladders to climb in and out. And of course, there's only one leg that's exposed in the first place. There would be an exit, but of course, then we would have to climb the cliff as opposed to using the.
We could just
lift.
take the elevator.
And I'm going to use the elevator. I don't know about any of you if you want to do some Sylvester Stallone shit on the side of the cliff. That's all
I'll
up to you.
come with you, Pondus.
Fantastic.
All right. Back to the airship.
Onward.
The lift rises you once again, and you make it to the plateaued cliff once again, looking out onto the Colossus and also Cyrus's skeletal spectral horse, or his fine steed.
It's standing at attention, keeping watch.
It is saluting. It is uncomfortable. Uncomfortable to look at, I would say, more than anything. Yeah, so if you're heading back to the Mourning Star, it was a few hundred feet away. You start walking back, and everybody go ahead and make a perception check.
You're making me anxious. It should be just fine.
Stand behind me. I will see.
What your gnomish eyes see, Midge?
Just put contacts. These are great. All right, what's that? Oh shit!
Apparently, Cyrus was busy like talking to his horse.
Okay.
He didn't
Yeah.
see anything.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
Wait, Randy and Midge are on it.
Cyrus and Morag are. I don't know if Morag is just staring at Cyrus's aberrant mark at this point, and Cyrus is like, "Why are you staring at me?" But yeah, Midge and Ramiel certainly notice. There is someone next to the Mourning Star, Midge especially with a role like that. You can see a figure standing next to and kind of gesticulating wildly towards the Mourning Star. He seems to be standing next to a cart, and there is something small kind of fluttering about the cart as well.
Did you leave Ahab back? Is Ahab harassing this morning gentleman?
Excuse me, that looks like a flutter. Ahab does not flutter at all.
Well, we left Hans and Whistler behind. Like, if this guy was a threat, they probably would have killed him.
Maybe we should go over there and check, though. That makes me kind of uncomfortable.
Midge can see Hans. Hans is standing on the top deck, just kind of doesn't seem to be moving, but is staring at this guy.
Pondus
I'll
ready?
mount up on my little pony and intimidatingly roll up on this guy.
Okay. So as you approach, you see a wild-looking human man. He has frazzled, stark white hair that extends in all directions at different lengths. He wears tattered clothing of various types and styles, seemingly cobbled together. A decent-sized mound of trinkets has amassed in front of him that he seems to be tossing things into. And he's yelling up to the Mourning Star, once again, as Hans just seems to be staring at him motionlessly. And as you ride up, you hear him shouting, "Ah, you're the strong silent type, huh? I get it. Yeah, how about a battle axe?" And he reaches into a bag of holding on his cart and produces a battle axe and kind of presents it, a little flashy. Hans doesn't move, so he just goes, Okay, and he tosses it in the pile. Listen, you're a tough customer, but I like it. I'm sorry, you're giving me nothing. I have presented my goods. Do you have coin? I suppose I should have asked. And as you all approach, you notice that the fluttering thing about the cart is an imp. And at this point, I would like to thank Paladin Hulk for this character. This is
this is the one he made.
Yeah, this is PH. Thank you so much for creating this NPC. I know it has been a while. I am sorry, but here he is.
Yeah, I'll ride up and rear my horse menacingly.
He doesn't seem to flinch, weirdly enough, and he looks over and goes, "That's a weird-looking horse."
You're a weird-looking dude.
Fair.
I think that's all fair, right?
No, that's accurate, I would say.
Is our skeleton causing you trouble, mister?
Hey, Hans wouldn't do that.
He's not buying anything. Help me. I'm just a poor salesman. And he makes like these big kind of like watery puppy eyes.
What are you doing out here, dude? Like, this is
I'm a salesman. I sell things. I sell things.
The mutated hydras, two-headed dogs? Like, who's buying stuff out here?
Well, you would be incredibly surprised how many people in the Mournland need things, and that's what I provide. I am Galen Trollcarl, and I provide to anyone in the Mournland. Have you seen any other shops open? I don't think so. I have a monopoly.
I guess if there's a hole in the market, you're supposed to fill it.
Yeah.
Supply, demand. Mm-hmm.
So where do you acquire your goods that you're selling?
Oh, here and there. I find things all over the place.
Do you have anything that might be House Kenneth tech?
Any little clockwork things?
Yeah, clockwork. Yes, I have a clockwork bird. It is broken. I have a clockwork squirrel. It is broken. I have a clockwork fern.
Like a plant?
Yes, it is broken.
What?
Don't ask me questions, please.
Yeah.
A couple of warforged heads. I have an
Are they
arm
broken?
blade. No, well, I mean they're detached from the warforged, so in that sense they are pristine but broken. I have an arm blade. If you have a warforged, you could attach it to him.
Where is Whistler?
Whistler doesn't have an arm blade, right? He uses a pick.
Whistler, she'll just like cup her hands, like call up towards the ship, like, Whistler, are you around?
You do not get a response.
I'm gonna go check on him.
Okay.
Go do that. I'm gonna look at the
something.
heads.
You want
You're still muted, Jillian.
Merchant.
There you go. You're welcome.
Morag has big heart eyes because she loves crazy old men, so she's like,
That's right.
Oh no, another one.
I have 126 gold. I will give it to you for whatever you have. I will buy from you.
I appreciate the offer. I do not accept normal gold. I was going to take it from the skeleton because he doesn't look like he has much else to offer. But typically I accept payments of teeth, hair, blood.
This guy's right up your alley, Morag.
I have all of these things.
Yeah, right.
And
My teeth,
just
please.
found her boyfriend. Like, jeez.
I accept payments of souls. He says, kitten.
Does that work? Is that like a square thing? You plug something into your phone and you can just take a payment of a soul?
Oh no,
to his imp.
Yeah, kitten helps. And the imp kind of flutters up and goes, "Hi everybody, my name's not Kitten. Please kill me. Please. This has been worse. I have literally been to hell. That is where I normally live. This is so much worse. My name is Clerk. He summoned me an eternity ago, and I do not mean that literally, but also I do mean it literally. Banish me, I beg you, banish me." He says, "Stop purring, Kitten. Kitten can accept souls."
I unfortunately do not have any souls. I look back at my friends yet, but
That's fair.
I have a vial of expired blood.
That's fine. I mean, yeah, you can make some good pudding out of that.
I take it out. What will this buy me?
Well, what you looking for? I got
the fern. I got broken clockwork.
I would love the fern, actually. Well,
can we do something stupid like that crystal shard that Rami got? Put it in the fern.
Oh my God! Power the fern with the crazy magma.
Yeah, no, that's fine. He reaches into the
Midge can probably fix it for you.
bag of holding once again and produces it's a metal fern that looks weirdly
Wait, you want the
wilted.
fern or the bird?
I already have a clockwork bird that works technically, but it's not mine. It's
Morg.
Warforged. It's
Morg, if you know that imp's name, does that mean you can control it? I don't understand how they work, but
it's only if you summon it, I think.
Yeah, I mean, I could summon him away from his torment, possibly.
Can you banish me? For the love of all that is unholy, can you banish me?
for the love of it.
No, tomorrow, or when I level up, I can banish you.
I want to go back to Shavarath. You ever heard of Shavarath? It's a plane of unendless war between angels and demons. I swear to all that is not God, send me there.
What's his name? What did he say his name again was?
Clerk.
Clerk. I look at him like, Clerk, you were summoned by your master and you will obey him.
Oh, yeah.
That's
the
right.
wrong tree there. Right?
That's
Do
right.
not
He's firmly on the side of the
go
crazy old
against
man.
the word of your master. Get back in your cart.
He just kind of flutters back to the cart and just kind of looks back at you.
Anyway.
You ask people for help, you don't get help.
Or kitten.
The blood for the fern?
That's a fair trade. And yeah, he provides you a wilted metal fern.
Is it rusted or wilted?
It is wilted. It is not rusted. It is strangely wilted.
I am so confused.
I love it.
I got that from I think it was Metro. Is that where the?
I have my notes. I can check.
Yeah. It's I want to say it's either Metro or Eston. One of the two places you didn't go. Yeah, that sounds right. So the yes, Eston has the biomechanic wonders and the flora and fauna made from clockwork.
So
yes,
you've been around the Mourning quite a bit then, huh?
I have. I've been everywhere there is to go and survived it all.
Have you been into making it all?
I have been to, well, what's left of making. It's mostly a jagged plateau of shattered glass, but there's some stuff under the ground that still exists, but yeah, most of the stuff on top of the ground ain't there no more.
Anything interesting worth checking out in making still?
I personally have not explored, but I had a friend, he's dead now, but he explored. He got some maps. If you're looking for a map, I got a map of those underground places. What are you willing to trade for? You got some spit?
We always do.
Got some blue juice spit.
Hey, wait, Midge, don't you have a bunch of like monster parts and stuff this guy could have? Like,
I got monster parts for days, son. I'm in the Mournland. You got any health potions, or like I said, I can appreciate anything non-mutated, or food, or water. Those are always good. I normally ask for spit first. Most people have spit, but fresh water is also equally good.
Give him a canteen of water.
Do you just want us to like spit it into your mouth? Is that how you take the spit?
I have a mug.
Don't you have the create water spell?
Who?
Midge?
Sorry, this guy's really fucking my momentum up here.
Slowing you down. They call me the anchor.
Oh gosh. Yeah.
You also do have a vial of endless water.
Yeah, but we don't want to give him the vial, but we could endless water into a bucket for him.
Yeah,
just douse him with water.
Endless water into a bucket for him. That sounds awful. Nope. I can't.
have a bag of holding that you can just pour some water into.
Is that how that works?
Wow.
Does that,
you just stick a straw in it and like summon water?
Yeah, why not? I don't know.
Oh,
Okay,
no.
well, in exchange for some maps of making whatever you've got, we'll give you as much water as you can hold in your little bag.
Oh, I got bags for days. And you actually do see that the cart is packed with bags of holding, that it is strapped down with bags of holding.
Don't you only need one?
The bag of holding capacity is 500 pounds.
Oh.
Right, so I filled a few with stuff. A lot of rocks, to be honest, but you never know when you're going to need them.
Smart.
Mm-hmm.
You don't want to be caught without a rock when you really want one.
They're really good for dropping on folks. You know, you overturn a bag and just let all the rocks out. Get a lot of things that way. But yeah, no, you can fill me bag. I'll give you a map.
Okay, we do that.
Okay.
Remy's off trying to find Whistler.
Oh,
right
that's
now,
right.
So
Yeah,
You go back
Remy,
on.
go ahead and roll an investigation check.
yeah, all right. And she's just kind of like hops in. She's just like yelling for him. What is investigation? I don't have good investigation.
Nate, what elixir did I give you? I gave you flight earlier, right? Before I gave somebody flight.
I used it.
Okay.
And she's just like, Whistler, Whistler.
There is no trace of him. He is nowhere to be found.
Uh-oh.
Our Warforged done runt off.
They almost like go sprinting like to like the edge and like lean over like where everyone's at outside and just like yell down at them like, guys, Whistler's missing.
I'll uncoil the copper from my finger and look at and be like, Whistler, can you hear me? And I think it's only like 150 feet range. That one. Anywhere within 150 feet, he'd be able to hear it.
You do not get a response.
Does Hans know
Guys?
where Whistler went? Hans, where's Whistler?
Does Hans have free will in your under your control? Is he able? I mean,
I thought we established no. He does not.
I don't know.
He has the ability to speak common, but yeah, I didn't know if
I didn't know he could talk.
I didn't know he could talk either. That's
Cyrus has never
terrifying.
spoken to him.
I did too, try, and you were like, he can't talk, he's got no jaw or something.
All right, well, if I establish that,
Oh,
well, yeah,
okay.
I guess he didn't have a jaw at the time, but you have given him a jaw.
It says
with
on his stat sheet he doesn't have any languages, so I think that's why we said he couldn't talk.
Pretty
You
sure.
just like to pretend he can.
Yeah, this just Cyrus. Hans.
I bounce a lot of like ideas off of him while we're
Yeah.
Yeah, I was gonna say
just hanging out.
in the book he can speak common. If I said it before he couldn't, we're gonna redact that. Hans can certainly speak, and he kind of chatters next to you and says, "The Warforged left. He jumped."
He left.
Jumped where? Left where?
And Hans just kind of points towards the edge of the cliff.
Like he jumped off the cliff.
What?
Yes.
Did something happen? Was there?
Maybe he was sad.
No. He's
He
probably.
wanted to come here and he wanted to go back to see Lord Merrick's too. He wouldn't just leave us unless it was important.
Yeah. It's probably like the other Warforged defecting. He's probably like compelled somehow.
Was this
Do you
before
think
or
he was
after
kidnapped?
the merchant came?
Is the
Hans?
merchant still standing there watching us argue back and forth about our friends?
No, this is great. I don't get to talk to people or get entertainment, so this is phenomenal. It's like a soap opera.
Did the merchant see the Whistler go? Was he here at that time?
I only talk to the pile of bones.
Okay.
Have you seen the roving Warforged armies?
Oh yeah. They really want to skin me alive, but not Gale and Troll Carl, not me.
I get the feeling a lot of people probably do.
I thank
I don't
you.
understand why that would happen. He's charming.
By the way, do you get the imp thing? I'm going for because retail is hell. Do you get that?
I just guys,
Clever.
we gotta find Whistler.
All right, well let's go look at the cliff he jumped off of.
If you were, all right, I'm just gonna. It seems like you got your own thing going on, so you got your map, and
Yeah, thanks for that.
yeah, you are welcome. Thanks for the fresh water. You would be surprised how many people would prefer the spit option, but yeah, I get it, baby. Yeah, You take what you get. You drink what you can get. All right.
Oh yeah.
Fare
Sorry,
thee
am I making
well.
all of you sick? It happens so often. And also, I should mention if any of you are looking at Galen, Cyrus, you especially would notice that Galen has a large familiar mark on his face, a mark you would recognize as being similar to the one that you have on your chest.
What?
Oh.
Oh, on his face.
Maybe when I was sleeping, he bit me, and that's how I got mine.
Yes. Aberron dragon marks are passed just like vampires. It's established.
I point to it. I'm like, hey, what does that do?
It burns sometimes and makes me do magic. I could already do magic, but it gives me extra magic. Bonus magic.
How long have you had that?
I don't know what time it is anymore. I live here mostly. What's the date?
I tell him whatever it is.
Oh,
as best as we understand it, I guess, because we did go through that weird fog wall that kind of distorted time for us.
Wow, it's been a while.
Like 5 years, probably.
Yep, sure has. I've been here the whole time.
Yeah.
Survived the morning, by the way.
And did you always have that mark, or did it appear on you one day?
It grew on me after the morning. I was able to. I'm a wizard. I don't know if you wondered. I can do shield magic, and I shielded myself from the morning. But yeah, it showed up a couple of days later. I figured, I could either be a pile of bones and ash, or I could have a weird glowy tattoo on my face. So definitely taking column B on that one.
Yeah, Whistler's missing. I guess we should get to that.
Yes, have fun finding your whistles.
Yep, you too.
Hi.
And at that he bows, grabs the imp a little kind of roughly just about the wrist or about the waist and goes, "Here, kitty," grabs onto the cart, and he teleports away, and he's gone.
Oh.
He just teleports? Like,
impressive.
That would have been nice to be able to use. Never mind. All right, while you guys have been schmoozing the wizard, I've been racking my brain over trying to figure out how to find Whistler, because he's our friend, and we need to find him before he falls into the clutches of another man.
Lord of Blades.
Yes. So, I'm not very good at stuff like teleporting and stuff, but I could hold on to Ahab and turn us both invisible and fly across, like, from where he jumped. If we can get Hans to show us where he jumped and kind of fly out into the yonder and look down and see if we can find him. He can't be that far. We were only, what, half an hour? Something like that?
Can we not fly the ship down there and look?
That would save some spell slots. I was just worried about time.
What do we see at the edge of the cliff?
Yeah, anybody looking, make investigation checks.
Fuck yeah, I am very concerned. Because I called him my friend, and I don't want him to think I would abandon him.
This damn helmet, I can't see anything!
all the fog is, like, making your eyes water.
Mourning and Midge can both see footprints that are that lead to the edge of the cliff, and then end. You look down; it is several hundred feet to the bottom of the cliffside, and you are unable to make out anything from.
We should fly the ship down there.
Yeah, catch up. I'm gonna go down.
Okay, let's go.
I'm gonna grab onto Ahab and cast invisibility at 3rd level on both of, so it targets both of us, and descend. Hold on to him and descend down the cliffside. Try to follow.
I will remind you that you do have featherfall on your cloak. Should you want to use that?
I have featherfall on my cloak?
You do.
When did that happen?
When it was given to you by Merrick's Kenneth. And
I thought it was just the glamour weave.
All of us have it?
The cloak is glamour weave. The Gorgon token's head pin is a Featherfall token.
Is it a one-time use thing, or is it?
It is a one-time use thing.
Wow, this is that time then. I'm just okay.
Wait,
Okay.
shouldn't we just go back to the airship?
Yep, we should. Go ahead.
Okay.
Catch up. I'm going to find Whistler.
I don't.
I'm gonna jump and then wait a while and then do it instead of doing the.
Is it okay for him to go off alone?
He's invisible.
Yep.
He is invisible.
Yes,
We-
Midge
Rammy's
jumps
just
over the
going
edge.
to the.
Midge
And
jumps over the edge, and none of you, and you all
We
look
don't even
over.
know.
He's gone.
We're like, Midge, are you still there? Midge?
Yeah.
Midge, if you're still here, say something.
I'm
Midge?
here. Gone.
Well, maybe we won't run him over with the ship. Maybe we will.
You
Let's
hear a
go.
thump.
Sometimes I can still hear his voice.
I should have checked the flight patterns before we did that. But
All right. to the
Ahab and I
ship,
are going.
So we can
Midge,
follow
you-
the invisible gnome.
Midge, you descend at a reasonable, safe rate. The rest of you board the Morning Star. Rami, you were able to power it up and descend as well, giving enough room for where you think Midge might be as you descend probably a little bit faster than he does, safely in both cases. Midge, you notice on your way down a particularly jagged branch that seems to be sticking out, and you notice the very familiar, there's a piece of red cloth which has become attached to it, which you would recognize as being part of Whistler's normal garb. Midge, you descend to the very bottom, whereupon you see next to your footprints a pair of familiar Warforged boot prints as well.
Grab that cloth.
So Moray can
I
scry
can't.
it.
I can't tell you that. But if you
Yeah,
want
I
to-
don't. I think I'm kind of tunnel visioned. I don't think he would. Well, let me do
We
intelligence
probably
check.
have some of his stuff on the ship, I would think, anyways.
Barring anything else, I will say that Morag, you can use your broom and get the cloth. Well, you get the cloth one way or another.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll just see if. Yeah, I probably wouldn't tunnel vision. I'm just concerned. I don't want him to think that that his friends abandoned him. So yep. Sail. Go on down. See the footprints and tried my damnedest for Ahab and I to track him down.
Are you like signaling us in any way? So we
Not
can
that you would
follow
see. Not that you would see anyway. I'm just going. I figured they're smart. They'll catch up, and if they don't, then I'll send some kind of weird fairy to
Have
fire
you
or
met
something.
I could
us? We're not
Stand
smart.
on the deck of the ship, and every minute or so, I will message. See anything yet? And if he's within 120 feet, he'll be able to hear and respond back.
Yeah, Yep, I'm just gonna. Yep.
So, as you send message, you are not getting any response. So you're all on the ship and you're doing what?
I'm gonna look around Whistler's quarters, see if he left a note or something.
Dearest friends.
I can no longer tolerate this life in the morning.
I have been the big bad evil guy this entire time. I have betrayed you all
Right
and
under
left a
your nose.
bomb on the ship.
Did he pull a Rammy and leave the notes like attached to an owlbear stuffy?
Yeah, with
There is
a
no note.
Lipstick kiss on it.
Yes, the Warforged with no lips. He
Yeah.
found lips. No, there's
Whose
no
lips
note.
are these?
There is no sign. He didn't seem to leave anything behind. I mean, Whistler wasn't exactly somebody
No, he
overburdened
didn't have
by
extra stuff, yeah.
items in the first place, but he seems to have taken his weapons. He has taken his cloak. And as far as quarters, Whistler never really had quarters. There were always enough for all of you to sleep individually, but Whistler being one that didn't sleep, and typically spent his nights in the
We stayed
gunner
up and
station.
played. We
Right.
stayed up and played solitaire, not together, just next to each other.
Yes, you both shared a drink called loneliness, but it's better than drinking alone. Thanks, Piano Man. Yes, I will say if you are on the ground, you can do an investigation check if you're kind of looking around the area. But yeah, Morag, you're not getting any reception on your message. Yeah, is there anything that anybody else is doing in particular?
I'm moving.
Rammy has to pilot, so.
What's up with this map I got from that crazy guy?
So yeah, the map is crudely drawn, but seems to show the layout of what remains of making, with a couple of X's drawn in certain spots, with kind of descriptions of what do I want to call them, just like points of interest, and they kind of say like, oh, this is an entry point to this particular place. This is an entry point to this particular place. One of them you do notice as being significant is top secret Cannith lab, and it says that with an exclamation point.
Well, we can't go there. We don't have top secret clearance.
It is definitely written in crayon.
Where did he find crayons?
Well, when Midge
like
comes back,
NPC.
if he didn't find anything, I can scry and see if I can scry on Whistler. So,
Yes, that would be a good idea.
we will wait until Midge comes back.
Smidge, I will say while you're on the ground, you can roll another investigation check if you like.
Oh yeah, hardcore investigating.
With a roll like that, you can see that from where you see the landing of Whistler's boot prints, you can track for some time in the sandy wasteland. You can track his footprints. You can see where he was headed.
What cardinal direction is it?
He seems to be heading in the opposite direction of making. He seems to be heading north.
I have an idea.
Is that
Seeing as
towards
how-
any major city?
Yes, that would be towards. Sorry, pull it up here. That would be towards Eston,
Or
and technically Calazart from where you are.
Calazar?
But
didn't
but
we
yeah.
hear that was gone?
Right.
Seeing as how I want to let them know where I'm at, but I don't want to break the concentration on my invisibility, I'm going to throw up as I'm walking, pull out my little Pokeball with the cards in it, and slap the top, and aim it up in the air and slap the top, and try to shoot the card up in the air, and make whatever is going to come out of it.
All right, draw a card. Please be a red dragon. Please be a red dragon.
yeah.
We just fly away in the opposite direction and leave him there.
Well, Midge is surely dead.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's an ogre. I love it. How'd you get these? How'd you get the monster pictures on the cards?
There is somebody out there. Thanks to them, I wish I could credit you, but I found it on Pinterest, which credits no one. So yes, there is somebody who went through the trouble of making these cards. To whomever you are, please, you're a saint. So yes, an ogre, maybe one of Morag's ex-boyfriends, kind of appears in the air and then thumps down into existence.
Well, I was gonna wait till when it starts to fall down. I'll give it time to apex, to whatever, get to its height, and then start falling down, and then disappear about halfway down. That way they know it's fake. If I let it fall the whole way down, they might not be able to see it. They might not know it's fake.
All right. An ogre climaxes in midair and then disappears.
Whoa.
I don't really like that turn of phrase.
This is a weird stream.
Yeah, it is. It is Morag's ex-boyfriend.
Uh-huh.
I feel so bad for him.
For him or her?
Yeah, I feel bad for her.
Oh well, I mean, he's the one. Having to worry about it in midair. She's safe. She's got plenty of boy toys here in the Mornland.
Oh my God.
Teleporting about.
Old man toys.
Yes.
The dating scene has never been so hot.
I'm gonna
Boomerang.
cry.
Nice. So I'll do that, and
Hey, I did promise that you would cry in this game, so I didn't say why.
You know,
It's
you
not out
did.
of sadness.
You did promise me.
I like that Rami's like, princes and handsome men of power, and Morag's like, old crotchety men with
Old men of
Craziness.
power.
Bones and loose skin.
Yeah.
Yummy.
Okay.
All right. So yes, you do see an ogre
Would we
appear from
recognize?
nowhere.
We would know that that's Midge's thing, since we've seen him do it a few times now.
If you are unsure about your character, you can roll an intelligence check. If you think your character would recognize that as an illusory Midge moment, then I'll say that's fine.
I'm probably still like going through wherever Whistler keeps his stuff if he didn't have quarters.
So I'll say that probably Morag or Rami would.
I'll. How far away are we from this apparition?
Yeah, you're probably, I mean, maybe 10 feet if he's shooting into the air. If he's probably shooting it towards the Morning Star to catch your attention, very flare-like, I imagine. So,
Is it radiating illusion to my Elder Sight?
yes, absolutely.
Okay.
You would recognize this as an illusion.
I take the wire. Is that you, Midge? You can respond to this message. Without concentration, I think.
That's a good copy, Morning Star Mama. Good to hear from you. Good to hear from you.
Morning Star Mama, is that what you said?
That's right.
Oh, man, copy that, Wicked Witch.
Yeah. Witchy woman. Oh, witchy woman. No,
all of those are...
Yeah.
She's green.
Yeah.
Ground control to witchy woman. Witchy woman. That's a good copy. I'll just keep randomly shooting them every so often here. I can only do this for so long, so I got to keep moving fast.
Well, I message him back. I'm like, if you come back to the ship, I can scry on Whistling to see where he is.
Once my invisibility runs out, I'll come back.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm gonna try to.
We'll try to track you, follow you then.
Yeah, I just feel that being as close as possible to his tracks is probably the best way to go, as opposed to in the ship. So, yeah, I'll plead for that to be the case. And I'll throw another one up whenever I'm ready to come up.
Okay.
While you are all on this level, everybody roll a D100.
Whoa.
You're saying, like, roll whatever, and I thought you were going to say roll initiative.
I rolled a 1.
How did you do that?
That's a crit success in Call of
Cthulhu. I rolled a 99.
Holy shit, you all rolled the good ones. Okay. All right. This is so fun. You guys rolled all the good ones. I'm so glad. All right, so we got a 1, an 85, a 99, and a 57. Alrighty. So you all can continue as you are. Nothing happens immediately right now.
Oh yeah.
He said
I'm coming.
honestly.
I'm coming,
That
friend.
makes me nervous.
So yeah, I guess Midge is just going to keep tracking, and the ship will follow for now.
Yeah.
Okay. So Midge, you are able to. How far is the Morning Star keeping from Midge at this point? Well, I guess you wouldn't know, would you?
Yeah, they wouldn't know, and
We
I'm
couldn't really see.
Okay.
booking it.
So you're kind of maintaining your spot until you see another illusion. Is that your plan, Remy? Okay.
I'll come down and stand behind Rami and like try to see the cards as they're coming up.
All right. Midge, as you move along, we'll maintain the investigation check that you had before. As you move along, you see that after a short time, Whistler's footprints start to become, let's see, kind of blended in amongst a large number of other very similar footprints, along with some rather large footprints in addition to. Seems to be that a group of, if they're similar to Whistlers, probably Warforged, move through this area, and the larger footprints you would recognize as belonging likely to several Warforged Titans.
Fuck.
Well, he's with his own people now.
Oh.
Yeah, I'm sure he's happier.
Not what I wanted to
Family.
see. All right. Well, let me check off another illusion here. I'm gonna launch it up once I see this and deduce that. Yeah, this is. And their tracks are pretty. I'm going to assume wherever they're heading, they're pretty apparent. They're pretty with all the Warforged tracks are easy to follow, considering there's so many of them and they're heavy.
Yes, they definitely seem to be moving north, and I kind of imagine Mournland is very desert-like. There's a lot of sand, so yes, you can certainly tell that this group was heading north.
Okay. So I launch up. How many knights? Is it 5?
You get I think it's a knight plus 4 soldiers.
Just a whole group of people. Whee! And yeah, I throw up the card or launch the card out of the Pokeball, and as it comes up, Morg will see that as the dudes start to fall and then disappear in midair.
At that, go ahead and mid-roll a perception check.
Yeah, that's not what I really wanted to do right now. I was really hoping to never be seen again. Let's see here. There we go. Sorry, I had to pull my sheets back up now that I'm not doing the card thing. Okay.
Cool. Everything's fine.
As I thought. Going to grab onto Ahab, and when the ship gets over top of me or close, have him lift me up. I know his speed is probably slowed, but have him float us up onto the ship.
Okay. You are able to float onto the ship. Are you still invisible at this point?
Yes. Yeah,
Okay.
I'm riding it till the spell wears out. Yeah.
Okay. So are you doing anything to notify anybody that you've gotten onto the ship?
Once I get onto the ship, I'm going to turn visible.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
So yes, Midge, you get on the ship, you turn visible, and it is at that point that a ballista bolt is fired across the bow. It does not hit, but it definitely seems to be a warning shot. And everybody, go ahead and roll perception checks.
I hop on just enough to start like being miserable and pouting, and now this. Wait a.
I think I might be going blind. I think my Eldritch Sight has like affected my actual vision.
Yeah,
I can
I'm not
only
seeing
see
shit.
magic from now on.
It's only
Maybe-
Rami.
You look out and you see
When
what
I'm in the ship, I see everything. So
Right.
Yeah.
this is how it's happened.
you look out and you see that there seems to be a Warforged Titan, but it's not like the one you saw before. This one seems to have wheels, and sitting mounted on this Warforged Titan on its back, sitting in a ballista seat, is a very familiar person. It is Icar the Black. And-
Did you give it
Again.
wheels this time so I couldn't like meld its joints together, Derek? Is that what you did?
I
Sounds
gave
like
it
that's
wheels
what you did.
It's
because
the
that's
same
some Road
one.
Warrior bullshit. I gave it wheels because he doesn't have an airship, and he's of course not going to walk around in a fucking Warforged Titan. No, he would put wheels on it because he's Icar the fucking Black.
What? Okay.
So
He's a bitch, is what he is.
Oh, she said what we're all thinking.
So you
Remy
look down
is-
just as Icar is having a couple of his associates load another ballista bolt.
Morg, tell that motherfucker to cease fire. What's his problem?
Is he within 120 feet of us?
Sure. Yeah, you were picking up Midge, so he is probably within 120 feet.
Alright. I'll put extra saliva onto this copper wire.
Yeah, wow.
Hey, some people would kill for that
I
extra
cut a
saliva.
black.
Right? It's a precious
Yeah.
resource in this wasteland.
Cease firing at us. Do we have a crew name? We're just the Morning Star. Did he know that?
Crew of the Morning Star.
Did he know
I-
we were the crew? Did we
Would
name
he
ourselves
know?
after
I don't know
that?
Just tell him that it's
I don't know if he
Morag
ever
calling.
saw. Yeah, I don't know if he
Hey.
ever saw
Doesn't.
our ship. So
You
Yeah.
may not. It was always docked with Bevan.
Yeah, that's true. This is Morag, Cyrus,
Hey, you up?
Ramiel, Midge. Hey, yeah. What up? You want to roll deep?
Straight gangster.
You hear a voice that says, "No, I'd much rather have your airship." And
We just
Yeah.
fly straight up and tell him to fuck off.
Yeah, like honestly, like just fuck out of here, dude. Like,
He
Remember we have that like
want to
tactical
salvage
nuke?
us, not in a sexy way.
Well, tell him not to be such a sore loser. He doesn't just get to have everything that he sees.
That's
Remy,
not
is there
how...
anything you're doing? Because he is going to fire again.
She will just like, accelerate up, just as quickly as she can, like safely.
You can go ahead and roll a vehicle check. You should have some sort of vehicle proficiency.
I have like the proficiency of like navigator's tools. Like there's not like a vehicle skill.
Yeah, I was wondering if they did something with that because you have Mark of the Storm, and when you make a dexterity, acrobatics check, or any
acrobatics.
Navigator's tools, you can roll a d4 in it.
Yeah.
So go ahead and just roll with your navigator's tools, and we will use that as your basically a dexterity saving throw.
You can you have advantages and points and shit.
I do. You're right.
Are you okay, Kyle?
Sorry.
That sounds like a nasty cough.
Midge has whooping cough.
Okay, yeah. So should I? What's gonna be better, doing acrobatics or navigators tools? Okay. I don't know where.
If you have a tool
roll
proficiency, you would just add the proficiency bonus.
Okay.
Yeah, and then the ability modifier that's with it. So in your case,
so Dex, I think Dex said.
Let's see.
Do I add Dex to it as well, or just proficiency?
So
Both.
yes, go ahead and just roll a d20 plus your dexterity plus your proficiency plus a d4.
Nice.
Okay, there's the Dex and the.
Wow.
Oh hell yeah! Let me just see how far I cream him though. Hell yeah, dude! 31. Fuck off.
That is a max, absolute max, even on the D4.
Yeah, fuck off, Icar.
Because it is a +6 to his ballista roll, that would have been a 24. So absolutely, he fires another ballista bolt, and it goes wide as your airship takes to the skies and is able to avoid. Are you flying away, or would you like to engage? Or other. I keep presenting you with two choices. There's more than
one hand on the wheel and one hand out the window, flipping him off.
Hell yeah, dude! I'm gonna do like a sick kick flip in the thing.
Cyrus notices all this crazy driving all of a sudden and runs to the cockpit to see if everything's okay.
Yeah.
You don't know, but Ramy's doing something really sick.
What is going on? Why are we flying like crazy? Ms.
Icar's shooting at us.
Icar? Why is Icar here?
Probably because you called him so many names when you were drinking with him.
Oh, don't blame me on this one. Probably here to ask Mourning for her hand in marriage or something.
No.
She's.
He's not old enough for her, I know.
He's kind of in the direction we were going to follow. Whistler, correct?
He was probably more east than anything else. If you're going to follow Whistler, you would head north.
She's worried about him following, though.
That's okay, because they hate him too, and he hates them.
Yeah, I mean, him getting led right into an army of Warforged would be bad.
You know what? That'd be a distraction. He'd be a distraction if anything.
Yeah.
But I don't think we should fly into an army of Warforged either. Did we figure this out yet? Do we know that
he probably can't keep up with us? I would think. Icar can't.
Well,
there's no way. They have terrain. We have not.
She'll just kind of try to get out of the way for now while they try to figure out which direction they should go.
North.
Midge, did Midge tell us what he found?
Not yet, because we're just now all getting together after that madness.
Exactly. So if she can just kind of go into an evasive,
Yeah, you pull some Top Gun shit. Yeah.
Hell yeah.
You are definitely
you hit the brakes and they flew right by.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah.
No, you go to ludicrous speed. You've gone to plaid. It's all good. Yeah. You were able to maneuver away, and after actually a relatively short time, through the dust in the air and everything else, you lose sight of Icar.
If we stay up a few hundred feet, we're good to go from any spells.
As we leave, Brammy's gonna tell Morag to send him like one last message before we're completely gone. Just like,
say something rude and sassy because he's obviously not very good at his job.
I message back and I say, Rami says you drive like
A bitch.
a elderly halfling woman.
She says he's a bitch. She says he's a.
And
says
you're a
he's a
bitch.
Yes.
you're a bitch.
First of all, I want to say, Kay, yeah, get that blue, rip it and rip it.
Please hashtag blue juice to support the stream.
Both blue and juice have 5 O's.
Yes.
Yes. Secondly, I do love that that's Rami's insult. Tell him he's bad at his job. That's very good. And
She doesn't know how to be mean.
Let's see. Icar takes 2 points of psychic damage from that insult.
Yeah, fuck you.
All right. Okay, yeah, I don't think he is going to be able to fire again since he is not going to be able to see you. And the distance you have maintained, it would be a disadvantage on top of a disadvantage, so...
I'll have Hans man the ballista, too, just in case we get attacked again.
That's a good idea.
Yeah, Hans rattles up there, and yeah, the ballista, should you want to use it, is in the handouts. It is a d20 plus 6, and you have a thunder ballista.
Got it.
Guys, the. Oh, you're good, buddy.
No, you're good. Go ahead.
Okay. All right, now that we're relatively safe until some flying thing comes up here and takes us down. Yeah, it looks like Whistler met up with more Warforged, and they all headed north. I don't think this is a. I don't think he did this on his own volition. This is too much of a trend. You know, the way they put it back in, oh hell, Floating City place. Enter name here.
Argonth.
That's exactly what I was going for. And the way they put it back in the Argonth is the defectors. I don't think they all defected because they wanted to.
They were willing defectors. Like maybe the Lord of Blades has some like program overwrite ability.
Well, how would he know to go down the cliff? Why would he go down the cliff for first? And I saw a piece of his garment caught on the tree that he must have caught on the way down. Why would he go down the cliff and then walk all this way, a beeline straight for this passing? I don't know if it's squad or company-based size Warforged unit.
Well, it could be a couple of things. I mean, maybe there was something kind of luring him in, or maybe he just wanted to come help the other Warforged.
No. Nope, I don't want to believe it. And how would he know? How would he know they're over here? How would he know? No.
Is it possible that, like, from our point where we were parked up on the cliff, like, could you see this line from there, or is it so far that was kind of like more in the distance he wouldn't have been able to see it?
Like the tracks, essentially.
Not like where they would have been. You know, they're big creatures. So would you have been able to see the creatures from where we were parked?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, you guys had a great vantage point where you were at the top. Yeah, I'm gonna say, yeah, you could probably see a few miles in the distance with clear visibility from where you were. So yeah, he certainly would have been able to see.
Those things aren't exactly the most subtle or stealthy. Mitch, he could have just seen them, and he knew that we were supposed to be out looking for all these other Warforged. Maybe he was just trying to help them.
Well, that's an option too. Maybe, you know, this whole time that he knew some of the Warforged that were defected or taken or whatever, and went to try to help them. But other than that, I don't believe he went to join them. And
no, of course not. Not willingly, anyway.
I just wish I knew some kind of like magic thing that could talk to him.
I don't think that he would have went willingly without us. I think he knows we would have helped him do what he needed to do.
Why don't you try scrying him, Morag? Maybe we can learn something that way.
Yeah, I shall. Should we do that?
Yes, immediately. Yeah.
All right. I start taking off my clothes.
No.
Oh wait, I forgot about this part.
Not necessary.
She gets extra naked.
Don't say that.
Take out the bones, put them in a circle, sit in the middle of the circle, take out the
she has her own room. Why does she keep doing this in front of all of us?
No, my cockpit has seen Morag naked more often than like anything else.
Please don't call it a cockpit right now. It's just
Right.
making me uncomfortable.
Oh,
Spell
right out in the
components
middle of the
include
in
verbal,
the big
somatic, and
common
nude.
area. I'm in the big common area, and I just like get out there and like set all up there. So scry. So he'll need to do a wisdom saving throw, I believe, but let me double check. Oh wait, I forgot that on roll 20 I have spells because I'm a noob. Let's put it up there, shall we?
Oh crap! I forgot to buy the Eberron book on Roll20. Shit. I'm gonna do that for today.
Where is Scry? There she is. Ah. Alright, so and then I have, he's got a modifier of minus something because I've got a possession of him, a garment. Minus 4? Oh no, minus 4 is a body part. Minus 2 for a professional.
He also could fail it intentionally if he wants to be observed.
That's true.
I think it's also minus. You know the target well. I would say that you've conversed with him, so I think that's a -5 as well. So it should be a -7.
Ooh. And save DC is 16.
Okay. So yes, you can see in here particular creature, wisdom saving throw. The target knows you're casting a spell. It can fail the saving throw voluntarily if it wants to be observed, so he doesn't know. So yes, you get a. So hold on. Okay, yes. First hand, you've met the target is +0. You are familiar, so you get a -5, and you do have a possession, so that's -2. So that is a -7. Target isn't effective. All right. So Whistler will do a wisdom saving throw. So yes, he very clearly failed.
I think that's a 0.
That is an absolute 0. Yeah.
So yeah, I'm sitting on my dirt, surrounded by bone circle, stark nude. I don't know if you can hear me, grannies, but I need some sight beyond sight, Thundercat style. And what do I see?
Yeah, your witchy grannies show you a Tin Man. I guess we're doing some more Wizard of Oz bullshit.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so you can see Whistler. You don't see through Whistler's eyes, right? You create the sensor. That's right. All right. Yes, you see a large group of Warforged. They are dressed in various different styles. It's very similar to when you checked in on 33. The other Warforged. This battalion, if that's what you want to call it, and it definitely does seem militaristic, has many more Warforged than you saw before. You do see several of the Titans. One of the Titans seems larger and also has something attached to its back. You can't really make out what it is. It almost looks like a scrap heap that's assembled from like shattered constructs, but even to you, even through this through your luminous orb, it's giving off like a high-pitched whine, maybe. But Whistler seems to be marching in lockstep with all of the other Warforged.
Do I hear anything? Is anyone saying anything?
There are no commands given, and the last thing you notice is that you see the very familiar banner that you once associated with the Lord of Blades being flown in several places.
All right, come out of it, clean up all my accoutrement, put my clothes back
on. Yeah.
Put my bones away.
As always, getting dressed is the last
Have
step.
like a little broom and a little dustpan, and I sweep up all my dirt, put that back in there.
Yeah, Morag bends over one too many times.
Yeah.
Everybody's just like facing dead forward.
Very, very, a lot of scarification and weird runes all over my body. Okay, so he's with the Lord of Blades battalion, just like 33 was the Warforged I scryed on before. They're marching somewhere. all of the blasted black earth looks the same out here, so that I couldn't really tell where, but apparently we could follow if we needed to.
He can't be too far. We have to get him back. I know we're supposed to go like to making, but we have to get him back first.
Nobody left behind.
The only thing I could think of doing is maybe sneaking in up to him and like trying to get him to come back. I don't think we could like take on the entire Warforged army. There's a lot.
Yeah, I'm in.
I don't care. Whatever it takes to get him back.
I just need to. Oh man, it's such bad timing. I need to sleep before we do any kind of rescue mission like that. I don't have a whole lot of
power nap.
It is beginning to get dark. Yes, you have spent most of the day inside of the Colossus and exploring the lab. It is beginning to get darker and darker as you travel along.
I don't want to risk losing them or letting them rejoin some sort of bigger host.
Yeah, their tracks could get obfuscated by the winds and stuff if we wait too much longer.
The only bad part is that while we rest, Remy, we can't be in the sky because Remy's got to rest too. Mm-hmm. And she's the only one who can fly. So we're going to have to find
if I can find somewhere to stop right now. We'll have to see.
Well, we'll follow them north until we find a suitable place that we can hide the ship while we all rest. Try to keep as close to them as we can. Because we can gain on them. There's no way with Titans they can move very fast. There's no way. Not as fast as us.
Cyrus, roll an intelligence check.
That's my specialty.
I hope so.
That's what he was brought here for.
Yeah.
Yes! Exactly.
7
or 0.
Take your pick.
You have a fleeting thought, almost like the beginning of an idea. It's gone.
Yeah. We should have asked that dwarf gas station attendant guy if he had some cocaine. That would have been good.
Well, Bevin's been here the whole time. Yeah. Put in your cargo bag.
Yeah.
What we do? Your food.
What we doing?
That could have kept Remy all up and make to drive.
I drank all of your health potions. I am very high right now.
I can't wait to see Bevan again, like one of these days.
Yeah.
He's the only person I trust going to take the Morning Star to get it worked on.
He is the most honest person you have met.
Right.
Yeah.
Bevan has nothing to hide. Let me tell you,
Bevan will tell you everything. He will bear it all.
I have been arrested several times for having nothing to hide.
So, yeah. So I don't know. Does that sound like a plan? We need to try to gain ground while we can. What?
Okay, I'll focus on just getting us there, and you guys keep an eye out if you see anywhere for us to land. And Morag, do the same thing you did last time when we were thinking about landing on the cliff. You asked if it would be safe, okay?
Oh, I was just naked again. Now I need to get
More is
yes?
that little thing that the little spying thing, can you tell where they're at? Is that something you can track them with?
I can generate a sensor near the target of my scrying spell, but it doesn't give me a very good wide range of viewing. And because the morning looks all the same, it's hard to tell where they are compared to where we are.
I wonder if you can grab a landmark.
Yeah, it was not apparent this time.
Okay.
If we stop and rest, we might have to deal with Icar the Black too.
We can gain yeah, but if we can gain enough ground without him seeing where we are, we don't leave a trail. They do.
Just saying.
What if you challenged him to an arm wrestling competition, Cyrus, and then if he loses, he has to help us rescue Whistler?
I was thinking you were going to go with, if he loses, he has to marry you or something.
Well, that could be a double or nothing offer.
Yeah. I don't know what his deal is. He was a hero during the war. He's kind of a douche now. I think he's more of a wild card, and I don't think we should count on anything with him.
We should just go. We'll deal with him if we have to. Next time, we're not gonna be friendly and just leave, though. You tell Hans if he sees him again to start firing at him.
Yeah, I tell Hans that.
So are you flying for a while, landing? We'll find a good place to land, and then I'll watch all night while you guys sleep?
Yeah, I think that's the plan.
Mm-hmm.
Gonna try to find somewhere to land. That's what Remy's just trying to like push it to, reasonable top speed. The thing goes like 40 miles an hour at like max, right? So she's going. She's trying to like get as much ground as she can and kind of leave it to everyone else to try to find another good spot to land.
Didn't we have that cocaine overdrive mode? What was that all about?
Yeah.
That's right, yeah.
The
You
nitro.
don't have cocaine.
No, Bevan still sells any.
Yes, you do have the nitrous, of course. Okay, so Remy, go ahead and roll a navigation check.
I'll hashtag bless you so you can add a d4 to that.
Mm.
I rub your shoulders as you're doing it.
It's nice.
Besties, absolute besties.
To some people, the long fingers are a little off-putting, but yeah.
Like this, the same thing with like the navigator's tools.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So, D20 plus your dexterity, proficiency, and a D4. I imagine it probably should be fine. Yeah, it's just fine.
Ooh.
All right.
Gimme.
So, you are headed north, correct? You're following in the general direction that Whistler seemed to be going?
Yep.
You have abandoned a lot of the protective area, and according to the maps, which I expect that, everybody on the ship is kind of helping Remy to navigate as well, you would know that there is not a lot between you and the cliffside you just left. Best spot if you were going to stay in the Mournland probably would be the ruins of Calazart. Also would know that there may be on the way to Calazart the remains of some of the lightning rail. And if you are considering that, I will have you do a history check. If you are heading to Calazart, then we can handle that. I would say that unless you just want to stay out in the open, those would probably be your two best options.
I'll roll a history check just to see what we can find out. It's not gonna hurt anything.
Yeah, I'll do it too because I'm cartographer.
I'm
in
focused
history.
on flying.
Okay.
Oh shit!
I like
Midge.
the lightning ray.
Why'd you have a plus 13?
History checks, brother.
Midge, you would know that the lightning rails, just like everywhere else, especially through Sire, ran through most of the major cities. And you would know that more than likely, while not fully intact, the lightning rails standing, a couple 100 feet off the ground still might be in certain places where you would be able to park safely away from most things that might try to eat you from the ground.
Assuming no trains come by.
We get hit by a
Yes.
ghost train. Ghost train. Ooh.
I swear, Ghost Train is like a random encounter. Like,
It wasn't. It should have been, and I apologize for it not being.
Hey, next season.
Yeah, next season the Ghost Train, that scene from Ghostbusters. So if that is something you want to consider, you would probably encounter that as well. You just wouldn't know exactly where. Night is coming. If you were going to rest in Calazart, it will be after the sun has fully set. Likewise for the lightning rail, maybe a little bit later for the lightning rail, but you also will be above the ground. Whereas in Calazart, you would likely have to dock amongst the ruins.
What do you guys think?
Augury is good for 30 minutes into the future. Other than that, the compounding timelines of fate are too intermingled to tell.
Gonna get into a just deep description of the compounding timelines and why.
Wow.
everything's a spider web.
Yeah,
Butterfly.
Granny Loomheart, the monster who devoured the maiden that are my scrying bones. She weaves the weft and wheel of time, and it's a lot.
So you're saying that you dug those bones out of the feces of one of the hags?
I think no. A giant spider who is said to have woven the weft and wheel of time with her silk.
Uh-huh.
It's a lot. It's a thing. But
Okay, you
time
said-
is weird. is what I'm saying.
Yeah,
It's one of those owl pellets. She like vomited up all the
Yes.
hair and bones.
Time right now is really weird.
Yeah.
So, okay, so what do you guys think we should do? Should we dock in the city if there's anything left to dock on, or do we go and try to find a lightning rail station?
Let's check the city first, and then we'll see if that doesn't work. We can go with the lightning rail.
We can get outside the city and I can augur and we can
Okay.
see what that says.
Okay.
But we can't be too far away.
Try to find the ruins of the city.
Eh.
They are on the map, exactly where you thought they would be. You find the ruins of Calazart. There is what remains of a retaining wall. Several structures seem to have 3 sides left. There's nothing fully intact. Calazart is not the kind of city which had the like towering structures that Metrol had. Yeah, there's not a lot left. It's you look around even like in the shadows for some type of movement, maybe any type of life. Morak, you even look out with your Eldritch sight, and aside from the general aura that is given off by the Mournland, you can't determine any types of undeath. There's no necromantic energy that's giving off. It seems to be a city that is dead in every sense of the word.
All right. I'll cast an augury circle in and I'll see if staying here in the immediate future is weal or woe.
Okay. Yeah, you cast your augury. You connect to the spider web of fate, and based on your question, is staying here in your best interest? You get wheel.
All right. Safe for a while at least. So, off to bed with you.
All right. Well.
Yeah,
Park.
she'll land the
Ship and whatever remains of any sort of like docking or landing gear, whatever she needs to use, and she's gonna do the same as the evening before and just kind of like bundle up in the cockpit just in case they need to get the hell out really quick.
Okay.
I'll have Hans continue to man the ballista, and my horse Bratwurst will guard my room.
It's so fitting because he looks exactly like a bratwurst. Yeah, I can see that.
Just a whole bunch of organs shoved into a skin sack. All right. Yes, Hans does not need to sleep. He is the perfect guard. And I'm sure a great conversation for Morag, who loves to talk about bones. All right. Yeah, you are all able to dock. I will actually remind Kay that Rami does have a connection to the ship. The ship has a glamour weave type of camouflage, should you want to utilize that to make it seem like it's
absolutely.
surroundings.
I forgot that he did that.
Oh,
Yeah,
I
that's how we
forgot
changed
that
what it
too.
looks like on the
Little
outside.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Shit. Hell yeah, she'll just make it like just as I don't want to make it look too much like a pile of rubble because then some monsters might come try to dig around in it, but like
Make
yeah,
it
just
look like a fallen down building.
yeah, sure, just like kind of blend in with the surroundings.
Okay. Yeah.
We're gonna forget about it and like start flying in the air, and there's just like a building flying through the sky.
A building slowly lands. Yeah, you do so with relative ease, Nathaniel. Your fire elemental is able to convey that energy through the ship. You as the pilot have full control over it, and you have settled for the night. So Morag, you're going to keep watch all night?
First 15 minutes or so, I just kind of go up to a bratwurst and I hold my hand out and like, hey, pretty, hey, pretty. See
It
what
makes a
does.
sound like 1,000
Keep your
hell
palm
steeds
Yeah.
roaring in pain at you.
Yes, yeah. Morag hears the sound of horse hell, and but the horse does seem to like you. Yes, it seems a kindred soul in many
I
ways.
pet it a
Sounds like the
little bit.
worst kind of hell.
Yeah, horse hell.
It's all glue factories, baby.
And then I'll just like stand at the best vantage point on the deck or top deck and kind of just like look out. I'll just sight over and over again and keep watch.
Mora, go ahead and roll a D100.
Oops. Please stand by while I fix what I just touched. There we go.
54. That's the worst one. Oh no.
Oh no! Oh no!
So Morag, you are watching over the ship as night definitely has fallen and everyone else has gotten their sleep fallen upon them. With your eldritch sight, you do notice that there are several figures that seem to be looking at you from the shadows, seem to have maybe noticed you. You're not really sure. You can see very much like a cat, the eye shine. And there do seem to be several eyes kind of moving about. A couple of them look towards you, and you are able to hear a scurrying noise, but nothing seems directly attracted to you or the ship, and nothing moves any closer than when you first noticed them. Go ahead and roll a perception check while we're at this.
Nothing would be able to get into the ship unless they come over the deck, right? There's no okay. Oh Lord, why am I rolling so fast?
Oh,
Did you
A
wait? Do you
crit
have advantage
fail,
right now?
And then a crit.
Why would
You
I
have
have advantage?
You don't have an advantage point?
Do you
I
have
mean,
one that you can use?
Yeah, everybody does. Everybody.
I have let's go ahead and use the advantage on that.
Okay. With that, you were able to notice with plenty of time, there seems to be a vibration, very akin to the giant skeleton that you saw before, but this one seems to be heavier, duller. Where you are in the city, I should mention Kalazar was a major trade center. It's the biggest deal about it. It was almost dead center of
centrally located.
Exactly. Even to this day on the maps, it does show that there is a House Orion mage bred carriage route that does still travel through Kalazar. This was the trade center. This is where the lightning rail came in, and it does because of all this trade and everything. There's plenty of houses, plenty of shops, plenty of merchantry areas. Where you have placed up is kind of almost in addition to a standing structure, one of the few that are left, and have kind of blended your ship into them. It gives you a bit of a vantage point. And that's useful because across the horizon you see two large glowing eyes that seem to be moving, from your perspective, slowly across the sands. And I'm going to have this thing make a perception check. And it will do this at disadvantage. What is perception?
I had a DM advantage from a while ago, so I guess I'll spend that for that advantage I just did. So I'll click that off my sheet.
Perfect. All right. Does not notice you, but what you notice is another Warforged Titan. This one seems to be crawling, and as it moves in very similar parallel fashion to the city, you notice it doesn't have a lower half. And you realize that this is very likely the Warforged that was mentioned to you before. This is Karnslayer. This is WX-31.
That's the one I hate the most.
Oh wait, so that's a Colossus, not a Titan?
It is a Colossus. Yeah, if I rolled for a Titan, that's not what I meant to do, but we'll
I thought you
keep it
said
regardless.
Titan. Okay.
I'm sorry. It is a Colossus.
Okay.
No, it is massive enough for Morag to see without it being particularly close. So yes, this is Karnslayer WX-31, and you watch it for some time. It doesn't seem to notice you, but a couple of times you do see it has a shoulder turret, which fires a blast of something, some incredibly powerful energy. Off into the distance, you see an explosion. It does this a couple of times, and just continues to drag itself across the sands.
with what we've discovered, would it be able to do that without being manned by something, without having an internal crew working it?
It would.
It would be able to. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, they have those AI in them, right?
Okay.
Yeah, I'll say that we're not going to need a roll for this. You literally got a dose. The AI system allows a Colossus to operate at it's less effective than if it were actually being piloted, but absolutely the AI allows for a Colossus to still operate, and this one seems to be doing so, targeting whatever it can find.
I run down deck real fast, and I wake up Cyrus. I'm like, hey, do you want to go, like...
What? Is this a nightmare?
Hey,
yes, you push past Bratwurst and...
right, the Karn Slayer is out in the
Bratwurst,
desert.
you were supposed to be guarding my room.
The Karn Slayer is out in the desert. Do you want to go, like, fight it, or is it...
You woke me up for this? Is it attacking us?
No, not yet. I mean, revenge?
Is it, like, coming at us?
Morag fires an Eldritch Blast out of the portal window. It's attacking us!
I mean, we could go and, like...
Why would we do that? I was sleeping. What is happening?
I just thought you, of all people...
Cyrus is grumpy if he gets
woken
woken up.
What's going on?
Go back to sleep. I like tuck him back in and put a pillow over his face. Like,
Put a pillow over his face.
I go back up.
But they put babies to sleep in Joanne.
Yeah.
Okay.
Forever.
Yeah. Apparently, no one's interested in besieging that one.
I would have been, but you know what?
Oh.
I feel
Now,
like
we woke up...
have enough problems right now.
We woke up the grumpy
adding
folk.
another Warforged Titan is probably not a good idea.
It's a Colossus.
That
Hello?
one we could drive around, though. If we took over it, we could, like...
Yeah.
It crawls very slowly.
Yeah.
It ain't got no legs, Jillian.
Morag's trying really hard, you guys, okay?
Yeah, why do you want to fight this so bad?
No, I just wanted...
Taking
I wanted
everybody's
you
wants
guys...
into concern.
I wanted at least one other crew member to have a say.
Mora can't continue to keep all the horrors of the night
Right?
that appear in the Mournland
Right?
to herself anymore.
Cyrus, I saw a nightmare. Can I sleep in your bed?
Yeah.
Let me tell you about it while you try to sleep.
This one was less scary than the first one. All right, I keep watching.
Which is concerning because you didn't tell us about the first one.
Challenge rating wise, it is much more scary. I will say that.
Okay.
Yes. Okay.
Bratwurst, no more visitors.
With that, Morag witnesses not much else in the night. The eyes that she sees kind of traveling through the broken housing and leftover buildings, traveling through the cracks in the walls. Doesn't seem much. They don't get closer. They don't really seem to notice the difference. And after a good rest for everyone else, you have all taken a long rest. Dawn breaks once again.
This time I made you all waffles.
I can't believe... I don't want your waffles. You didn't wake me up. We could have taken it.
No.
I'm sorry. Cyrus is the one with the most history on these things, so I thought that he might want to know about it.
Did you all forget that we're supposed to be finding Whistler right now?
Yes, we could use the giant death robot to find Whistler.
I don't want a giant death robot. How would we pilot it or man it? We can't.
What if we
The giant
took
death
all
robot, the last one we found, was full
giant
of
death robot,
monstrous creatures.
and then the Lord of Blades like got that and used it?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. This is good.
Or we could blow up.
Crowdsourcing ideas.
This is so we have a nuclear warhead worth of like a multiple personality fire elemental, and that's cool, but we can't like
because no one can take control of that except me.
No, what if they let it out? I don't care about that. I'm just saying that we could have taken it. We could have hopped inside and we could have took control of it and piloted it. Rami, you could have like drove it, and we could have fucking.
We need someone else to help drive it. We needed someone else with a different mark to help drive it.
If it can go on its own, it can go with one driver. Just saying.
But the House Lyrandar people only fired the weapons.
There's
I'm
nobody
sorry,
in it
Midge.
now.
Next time I see a big, we'll do a solo mission. Me and you next
you
time.
and Midge can go take on the
Yeah.
Morag
Colossus.
and Midge's crazy Colossus
Yeah.
adventure.
Midnight adventure.
I just want to get Whistler back, and that sorry, that does seem like a very viable option.
Remy will start up and like try to orient and figure out which way they should continue heading.
I got a roll to maintain concentration on Hans.
Oh,
Go for it.
I
It's
did.
the day.
Yeah, I'm gonna reboot all my stuff.
I do pull out the one lightning ballista we took off of the last Titan.
Yeah, it's essentially a heavy crossbow.
Heavy
Yeah.
crossbow, right?
Do you want to install this on the ship somewhere, Midge? Like just to have available to us if we need it?
I mean, it would have been great on a Colossus, but yeah, I'll put it on the ship. Yep, I'll put it on the ship here, and
Cyrus is definitely not traveling around in anything called the Karn Slayer. It's bad enough I've got all these goddamn flags on top of our ship that I hate.
You renamed the Morning Star. You can rename a Colossus whatever you want.
Right.
Yeah, Midge, there are a couple places that are obvious to attach this. There are, of course, the sides of the ship, starboard and port. There is also an underside kind of, think like a flying fortress, World War II. There's actually a glass semi-dome on the bottom where you can attach a weapon as well.
Yeah, do that. We can shoot down.
Why don't I put it? Can I put it somewhere that Rami can use it from the cockpit?
Not really.
No?
Rami has to keep her
Literal
hands on
shotgun.
That's when she.
Yeah. I mean, you could like
Why
put it
don't I have
behind
mage
Rami's
hand?
chair, and if she lets go, she could use the heavy crossbow that way. But she would also have to stop piloting the ship at that point. It would be like her John McClane taped to the back handgun.
Okay. Because it was originally supposed to be for Whistler, I thought, but now that he's not here, and
What an ungrateful
It was
jerk.
your gift of the Magi.
Yeah.
I'm sorry I took away your tin boy.
Mhm.
damn. Okay, I'll just put it on wherever Morg wants me to put it on because she's the one who had it. So
Yeah, we got a top deck gun. Let's do the dome gun so we can shoot out and we can shoot down.
Just in case you encounter Icar again.
Yeah.
I really don't
Alright.
want to use magic on keeping me. Oh wait, no, we're parked. Are we still parked?
You're docked at this point, sure.
Ooh,
You have not taken off yet.
Okay, then I'm gonna do this quick because as soon as we wake up, I think it's best that we get as high up in the air as we can. So I'll go out and put this on quick while we're docked because I'm not doing it mid-flight. That's wasting that's wasting magic.
Okay. Yeah, go ahead and roll Tinker's Tools. We'll see how.
Tinkin. You would think. Oh, never mind. We're good. That's a lot.
Yeah. You attach it incredibly well, and it is exactly how and where you wanted it. Did a darn good job.
Kyle rolling these crits all day.
You know what? There was it 3? There's 1 skill and 3 tool proficiencies. They're all 13s, and it just so happens that this campaign is very nice, very kind to my particular needs or my particular expertise.
In fact, since you rolled a crit, I will say that you are able to improve the heavy crossbow. It does an additional 1 die of damage.
Wow.
Oh
Look
shit!
I
at
didn't have-
you.
Do you have the stats for that written down somewhere? Because that we didn't have them yet.
Just a heavy crossbow is.
Oh,
So
but
I will
then
have-
instead
10,
of
I think?
piercing, it does lightning.
Yes, yeah,
Yeah,
that's
okay.
essentially the difference to it. So,
So it's 2d10.
yes, it will be 2d10. I will put this in handouts.
And where do we control this from? Since it's on the bottom.
You have to like use it, right?
But how?
So yes, you would basically in the same way as the ballista, you would have to think of it like
so we
a
hang upside
mounted
down?
machine gun. So it has like a docking point, and you would have to sit there and fire. Very very episode 4 Star Wars, don't get cocky kid kind of thing.
Mhm. I got one.
Just like that, yeah.
Mhm.
That was a great Luke Skywalker. Mark Hamill would be proud.
Yes.
Mark Hamill, the
Very talented
voice
voice
actor that he
Yeah.
is.
Yes.
All right. Fly, my friends. Let's go.
You're supposed to say my pretties.
Fly, my pretties.
Oh,
It's
dude.
Dorothy.
Yeah, Remy will go in and try to reestablish a path that they're supposed to be following to.
Okay.
It definitely seems like they're heading to Eston.
Seems like.
Just as you all take off, you look out onto the city, what's left of it, for one last time. In the blink of an eye, the city is back. Its structures stand fully intact. You see people in the streets going about their business. Silent. You don't hear a single thing. And in a moment, you see everyone shield themselves, and in the blink of the eye, they were all gone once again. And you're not sure if anybody else saw that. You're not sure if maybe the Mournland's just getting to you. But the morning star rises without issue, and you have taken to the skies once again.
This place is depressing.
Yeah.
Can we see the growing chasm from here?
What is that?
You're muted, Derek.
Oh.
I'm sorry. Yes, the glowing chasm, you can probably see over the horizon, since that is north. It probably almost looks like, at this point, another sunrise from the amount of light that it's giving off. But it's obviously in the wrong cardinal direction. So yeah, you probably would be able to see the light, but not the chasm itself.
Fun. Let's not go by that, if we can help it.
There's another Colossus at the bottom of that.
Well, we'll try to avoid it, I guess. I don't think that's where the King of Blades is going to be keeping all of his people.
Head north.
Yeah. Head north.
Okay. So we will actually go ahead and wrap it up there, because some of us are going to have some family time. So, yes, this is the perfect time to wrap it up. We will pick it up next week, and yes, more than likely, we'll see how next week goes, because this one went in a different fashion than I thought it would. You all made some interesting choices, which I
Thought we
very
would
much
just
appreciate.
abandon Whistler and keep going.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was actually it was a thought that you would have considered making to be a priority. So, yes, you have all surprised me with your empathy. Now,
I'm not upset because I wanted to go to Eston anyway.
This pact with the guy, he made me take his dead body, so if he dies, I have to go and find his remains. So they
What are
have
you talking about?
Whistler gave me his body. He bequeathed me his body.
Yeah.
That's true.
Science.
So now I have to go and make sure I get it.
You want to get your claim on?
Mourning is going to find Whistler's body, melt it down, and make a broadsword out of it. It's yeah.
No, she's gonna have a really cool new some attachments for her broom.
She's
she's
gonna
have,
use his
broom
bones
armor.
to do augury.
Yeah,
His robot bones.
all of the above.
Thank you, everyone, for joining us, as always, and putting up with our ridiculous side talk. I hope that you enjoy our game as much as we do. Probably not. We enjoy it quite a bit. But thank you all for coming along this session as well. Particularly thank you to Paladin Hulk, a great contributor to our channel and our Discord, and a personal contributor to this game with the wonderful NPC, Galen Troll Carl. He told me he wanted to make a wizard merchant with an imp, because retail is hell, and I absolutely appreciate the thought that goes into that. So, if you would like to add an NPC to any of the games here on the Stalwart Initiative, you can use your channel points to do so. You can also use channel points to give advantages and benefit players, or benefit me if you want to hurt players. I'm totally into that. Yeah, I'm into that Dom shit. Nope. No. Anyway. Thank you all again. I will go ahead and let our players reintroduce themselves once again and share any thoughts that they have. And yeah, we'll go ahead and start as always. I'm not going to do segues. I'm just going to say facts. Jillian is an amazing role player. She creates incredible character sheets, custom character sheets, and is a phenomenal artist. She did the art for our stream. and I'm going to go ahead and turn it over to her. Jillian, you're awesome. Tell us more about
you. Yeah, Jillian of Midgard, most places. Etsy, Jillian of Midgard. Jill of Midgard on Twitter, because there's not enough room for the whole thing. I make gaming enhancement tools. I've got Morag on one of my sheets today. She's there on one of my illustrated sheets, which you can download via PDF from my Etsy. And yeah, I'll be opening up again, probably for some slots, digital art and stuff. Not too long, so follow me on Instagram and stuff, and that's where you find out about that things. And yeah, Morag is she's sad we didn't get to go and take off that other. We could have taken him. We was fine. It doesn't have any legs, so all of those traps are gone.
You remember the giant, like, flesh-melting laser we saw on the other one?
It wouldn't flesh melt us while we were inside it, is the thing.
We have to get there first.
Okay, and that's Morag's 2 cents of the day. Hashtag blue juice for this week's for this week's sponsorship.
Wonderful. Yes, Morag's 2 cents, which I believe is actually a coin that's actually worth 2 copper in. Yeah, it's a it's a silver throne.
Coin?
It's a throne of Sire. Yeah, Morag currency. That's great.
Yeah.
Okay, once again, I learned my lesson about segues from last week, so I will say another fact. Nate is an incredible role player, equal, if not greater than his wife. I'm going to leave that up to them to fight it out. But I have played with few people who are as eager to lead, as elegant in combat, and as thoughtful in their character creation. Nate, tell us more about you.
I actually try and like change my role based on my character. So like Cyrus is super leaderly, but I also play characters that aren't. So it kind of just depends. I always try and like imagine what each character I make would do in each situation. So Cyrus is a persona. It's not just me. So, but thank you, Derek. That's very nice. Yeah, I am excited and also sad that we're like getting to the end here. Like, I'm curious to see how it all wraps up. I love the Lord of Blades, and was like, when I was weighing which city we should go to, I was like, oh, making would be kind of what Cyrus would want, but Nate really would want to go to Eston and see the Lord of Blades and fight him. So I'm glad that that's kind of working out that way, because he is a badass, and only Cyrus is the only badass that's allowed in the Mourning right now. So the two will have to fight. There can only be one. It'll go down Highlander style, and we'll see who wins.
It is said it will be done. All right, thank you so much, Nate. All right, more facts. Kay is one of the most lovely people I have ever had the privilege of playing with. She is an amazing human being, in addition to being an incredible player of every TTRPG I've ever seen her try her hand at. It is incredible having her on this show, and I love the characters that she has brought to the 3 games that I've been lucky enough to play with her. So, Kay, tell us more about your loveliness.
Eric, I love you. You're so nice to me. Hi, everyone. I'm Kay. I'm at ironic_cupcake on Twitch, Twitter, and Instagram, if that's your kind of thing. I post about all my crocheting things I make. I make lots of old D&D, like, based on, like, character OCs. I make dolls and monsters and Pokemon and all sorts of fun stuff. I am really stoked at this like sudden change of events we're doing here today. Like, this was awesome, like, because I said it like 18 times, but I'll say it again. I wanted to go to Eston, so I'm so excited that we get to go to Eston. Hopefully maybe we'll make it there, I don't know. And
Ram's like, oh
like,
no,
oh
we have to go to Eston now.
I absolutely did conspire with Whistler to leave and head towards Eston.
That's what's going on.
Whistler, come back!
No, I'm going as fast as I can. Yeah, this is awesome, and like we were talking about it beforehand, and I'll say it here live so it's on record. I call for like season 2 with these same characters, please. Thank you. This has been such a fun game, and am going to cry if it's over. So.
Lovely. Well, Kate, this game does absolutely run on your tears. I need more of them to keep this going, so absolutely. Yes, the more you cry, the more there will be a second season. And the more blue juice you drink. Once again, the show has been sponsored by Blue Juice. 5 O's in blue, 5 O's in juice. Zero nutrition. All right, more facts. To the man with whom none of us would be here, the person who has created this channel out of his sweat, blood, and love. 2 bad things, 1 good thing. He is all good things, and an incredible player, an incredible friend that I am fortunate to have. Kyle, take us away.
The one good thing is the sweat, actually. So thank you for noticing. Thank you for noticing.
Love is very uncomfortable.
Yes, super. Thank you everyone very so much. Holy fuck, Derek. Yeah, every time, every single time, I've never walked away from a game with you and not felt fulfilled, and that I've spent my time and hope and imagine that everyone else has spent their time wisely in their life being a part of it with you. So thank you everyone. Thank you very much, Derek, and thank you everyone in the chat. Quinn, Trell, PH, everyone that showed up. Achilles, thank you so much for hanging out with us. And yeah, K is best bay. So but yeah, the blue juice is flowing, and Derek's right. I'm gonna go spend this time with my kids. It is one of those rare weekends when I get them, but I do get them frequent throughout the week, but my weekends off are few and far between, so I'm gonna go and enjoy that. To wrap this up, Derek, but I do want to turn it over to you quickly. As far as this episode, had no idea, no inkling, no nothing that this was going to happen, that Whistler was going to wander off, that this was going to be a thing, but Midge was and I was unable to deny the pull towards it, is that Midge was just completely drawn, like, whoa, this, we just got done telling this guy like what a friend is and saying we're his friend, and then he's gonna be, to my belief, or to Midge's belief, that he's gonna be forced to wander off and then wonder if we gave up on him or wonder what happened. Mission be damned, we're gonna go rescue him, and that is that. Or I'll go on my own if need be. But not that I would think the rest of the party would let Whistler go like that either.
Apparently, Derek did.
But yes, other than
we did what we came here to do. We got some cool tech. Is we can fucking leave right now, but we gotta go get Whistler first. Yeah.
We could, but we did not get definitive and Midge's idea. We didn't get what we came here for, because we got no definitive anything to give to Kenneth Merrick's. Yeah.
To
give
the AI thing would probably be good enough.
Yeah, the AI and the helmet and stuff. That's what I was talking about.
Yeah.
Next week, Pondus is going to be like, wait,
it's
what's happening?
Good.
That's true. We took his opinion, none of his opinion.
He
God.
looks up from one of his books. He's like, what's happening?
We're addicted to the danger. We're staying in the morning forever, Pondus.
Yeah, he's been napping this whole time and looks up and goes, "Oh, are we in making yet?"
Yeah.
Oh shit. So super excited. Thank you so much, everybody else, for hanging out. And Derek, let's we know who you are, but a little bit more from you, and any closing thoughts on today's game.
Everyone, I am Derek Sword. I am, as always, happy to be here. I love bringing that dad energy to every game that I DM and or play in. I'm their dad, I'm your dad, and I'm proud of you. You're doing a great job. I'm always happy to play this Eberron game, and I look forward to doing so for however many games we have left. 1, 2, 1,000. We'll find out. Thank you to my amazing players. If you enjoyed what you saw here, you'll be pleased to know that next week, before this game, I will actually be DMing a one-shot on the Scraticus channel, where I will play a variant on the train encounter that we had in this game, with new players, new characters, and a new twist. So yes, I have had Eberron the Brain for a while, and I will be doing some Eberron over on Scraticus. I believe it is I think it's 1:30 to 4:30. So I will have exactly an hour between that game and this game. So definitely check that out. You can also find me on Uncanny Adventures, where I play in a Call of Cthulhu game every other Tuesday. We've been off for a few weeks, but hopefully, if people are feeling well, we'll have some games coming up soon. And you can always find me wherever podcasts are found as one of the co-hosts of the podcast Monster Crush. Monster Crush is a podcast where myself and my lovely co-hosts Heavenly and Ellie talk about different monsters we want to smooch and whether Bigfoot would be good on a date. We just had an episode come out. We just had an episode released, which is all about monsters that are kind of known for their hands. It is Getting Handsy Part 1. Part 1 of 3. So those come out every other Wednesday. Definitely check that out. And if you enjoy it, give us a like, rate, review, subscribe. And if you review, we read it. We recently had a very lovely review that we read on an episode from Jillian of Midgard. So thank you, Jillian, who's also contributed some lovely fan art.
Oh yeah.
which we always appreciate as well. So as always, thank you to everyone. I know we still are in these quarantine times here in Ohio. Stuff is starting to open back up to whatever end that may be. But not to be that person, but I am looking forward to getting a haircut next Wednesday. It is something I'm actually very much looking forward to. But in the meantime, cherish those closest to you. Keep distance from those that don't have to be close to you. Wash your hands. Don't touch your face. Wear a mask. And respect what the medical professionals have to say. Thank you all, and I will see you all next Saturday.
Awesome. Thank you, Derek. And yes, we will definitely see you next Saturday. And we'll be back next Saturday. Shade and Cinder, possibly our penultimate episode for the campaign. Thank you, everyone, for joining us. If you're not part of the Discord community, check out our Discord. It's it's in the things. It's either going to be in chat here in a second, or it's going to be at least on the channel page and the in YouTube. Check out our YouTube channel. I'm going to try to get, by the end of this year, my goal is not only to have a consistent release on videos. I'm pretty much down to once a week. I'm hoping once or twice a week on videos. Right now it's mostly on Art Arcana because I'm trying to keep up. But hopefully at some point I can get ahead. I had some advice from our Wednesday crew on some video ideas about multi-classing and stuff like that. So that might be to come in the future. But yeah. So goal is to get 1,000 subscribers by the end of the year. We're almost at 100. So thank you for everyone who subscribed. And that'll be all educational D&D stuff. These episodes will go up at a very slow pace. I'm trying. On our second YouTube channel, the Stalwart Archive, and that's where we archive all of our Let's Plays, minus the one shots, but the campaigns should all be there within a matter of time. So anyway, thank you everyone so much for joining us, and have a wonderful week. We'll see you next Saturday. The channel will be back on Wednesday for Strains of the Sun, our Desert Adventure campaign. And until we see you next, like Derek said, take care of yourselves, be safe, and have a wonderful day. Oh, let's raid. Let's raid. I have it here. I have it ready. Ha! Push of the button. Lady Ari. The Lady Ari is a community artist as well as a moderator, and she helps me with streaming stuff because I'm very ill-informed on streaming stuff. So let's go raid Lady Ari. She is running. I don't know if she's running her Curse of Strahd game or what she's running right now, but yeah, super cool. So let's go raid her. Everyone, have a great day, and we'll see you all next time. I clicked raid like 5 times. I hope that worked.